Very good morning to each and every one of you. It gives me great pleasure to welcome all of you to Nadagavaathi. First of all, I would like to thank each one of you. Without you, this event wouldn't be happening. So a big round of applause for all of you. Sunday morning, 10 a.m. Quite a difficult. I think a lot of us face traffic. So thank you so much. It warms my heart to see many types of people over here. I see cultural recipients, I see theatre practitioners, I see audience, I see just a normal person who just wants to understand what is Tamil theatre art in Singapore. So thank you so much. Before I go on to talk about the objective of this forum and introduce the panel speakers, I'm going to introduce a very special man. And before that, a few words in Tamil. அனைவருக்கும் வணக்கம். இன்னைக்கு காலையில் 10 மணிக்கு அதுவும் சனிக்கிழமை காலையில் 10 மணிக்கு வருதுங்கிறது எவ்வளோ கஷ்டமான ஒரு விஷயம்ங்கிறது எனக்கு தெரியும். ஸோ அந்த கஷ்டமான வேலையை செஞ்சு இவ்வளோ தூரம் வந்ததுக்கு ரொம்ப 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 நன்றி. ஏன்னா உங்களை பார்க்கும்போது சிங்கப்பூரில் தமிழ் மேடை நாடகத்துக்கு ஒரு நல்ல எதிர்காலம் இருக்குது அப்படிங்கிற ஒரு நம்பிக்கை நீங்கள் தான் கொடுக்குறீங்க. அதுக்கு எங்களுடைய மனமார்ந்த நன்றி. இன்னைக்கு நாங்கள் சில விஷயங்களை பற்றி பேச போகிறோம், நிறைய விஷயங்களை பற்றி பேச போகிறோம். அதை விட ரொம்ப முக்கியமான ஒரு விஷயம் என்னன்னா, நீங்கள் பேசணும், நீங்கள் கேள்விகள் கேட்கணும். ஸோ தயவு செய்து இப்பயிலேருந்து ஒரு கஷ்டம் தான், காஃபியில் இருக்கான்னு தெரியல, உங்களுடைய சிந்தனை அலைகளை இப்படியே தட்டி விடுங்க. ஏன்னா நீங்கள் கேள்விகள் கேட்கணும், நீங்கள் என்ன நினைக்கிறீங்க, உங்களுடைய சஜஷன்ஸ் என்ன, ரெக்கமெண்டேஷன்ஸ் என்ன, இதெல்லாம் கேட்கணும். அதுக்கு பேனல் ஸ்பீக்கர்ஸ் பதில் கொடுக்கணும் அப்படிங்கிறது தான் எங்களுடைய ஆசை. இன்ட்ரோடியூஸ் மை செல்ஃப். என் பேர் கார்த்திகேயன் சோமசுந்தரம். இந்த கலந்துரையாடல் வழிநடத்துறதுல எனக்கு ரொம்ப 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 சந்தோஷம். அகம் தியேட்டர் லேப் மற்றும் ஐடிஐக்கு என்னுடைய மனமார்ந்த நன்றி இந்த அரிய வாய்ப்பை எனக்கு கொடுத்துருக்கு. அடுத்து இன்னைக்கு எந்தெந்த தலைப்புகளில் நம்ம பேச போகிறோம், யார் யார் பேச போகிறா அப்படின்னு நான் முன்னாடி ஒரு முக்கியமான நபரை இப்போ நான் அறிமுகம் செய்ய போகிறேன். இவர் இன்னைக்கு நம்ம தமிழ் மேடை நாடகங்கள் இன்னைக்கும் நம்ம சிங்கப்பூரில் மேடை ஏற்றி கொண்டு இருக்கிறோம்னா இவர் போன்ற முன்னோர்கள் தான் காரணம். இவர் போட்ட பாதையில் தான் நம்ம இன்னும் நடந்துட்டு இருக்கோம் அப்படின்னு சொல்லலாம். இவரோட நாடகங்களை இன்னைக்கும் நம்ம படித்து பார்க்கும் பொழுது அந்த காலத்துல இந்த மாதிரி நாடகங்கள்லாம் போட்டிருக்காங்களா அப்படிங்கிற ஒரு வியர்ப்பு வரும். இந்த காலத்துல நம்ம என்ன பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கோம், இதை விட இன்னும் பெட்டரா செய்யணுமே அப்படின்னு ஒரு உந்துகோலா இருக்கும் இவருடைய தலைப்புகள், இவருடைய நாடகங்கள் படிச்சு பார்க்கும்போது. அப்படிப்பட்ட ஒருத்தர் தான் இப்போ வரவேற்பு உரையாற்றுவாரு. நான் வரவேற்க இருக்கேன். ஸோ பலத்த கரவருஷம் SS சர்மா அவர்கள்
பேரன்புக்குரிய அன்பர்களே, எல்லோருக்கும் வணக்கம். சிங்கப்பூரின் 54ஆம் ஆண்டு தேசிய தினத்தை மகிழ்ச்சியுடன் நாம் கொண்டாடி கொண்டிருக்கும் இந்த வேளையில் இங்கே வளர்ச்சி கண்டு வரும் 4 மொழி கலை கலாச்சார சிறப்பில் தமிழ் நாடக கலையின் நிலை பற்றி ஓர் ஆய்வரங்கை ஏற்பாடு செய்திருக்கிறோம். தமிழ் நாடகக்கலை, தமிழ் நாடகம், ஊடக கலை நுட்பத்துறைகளில் நிறைந்த ஈடுபாடுடைய தகமையாளர்கள் அவர்களின் சிறப்பான கருத்துக்களையும் உத்திகளையும் அறிந்து கொள்ள இது ஒரு அரும் வாய்ப்பை நமக்கு வழங்கியிருக்கிறது. தமிழில் 64 கலைகள் இருப்பதாக கூறப்படுகிறது. அதில் இயல், இசை, நாடகம் என்ற 3 கூறுகளையும் உணர்த்தி வெளிப்படுத்தும் ஆற்றல் பெற்ற திறனாளர்களுக்கு எப்போதுமே ஒரு தனி வரவேற்பு இருக்கிறது. இந்த முத்தமிழ் கலையில் நாடகத்துறை பற்றிய ஓர் ஆய்வினை அந்த துறையில் ஆழ்ந்த அனுபவம் கொண்டவர்களின் ஆழ்ந்த கருத்துக்களையும் ஆலோசனைகளையும் கேட்டு அறிந்து கொள்ளும் வாய்ப்பினை பெற்றிருக்கிறோம். உங்கள் சார்பில் அவர்களுக்கு இனிய வரவேற்பும் வாழ்த்தும் தெரிவிப்போம். ஊரிலிருந்து இங்கே கொண்டு வந்து நடத்தப்பட்ட நாடகங்கள், உள்ளூரில் தயாரித்து அரங்கேற்றிய நாடகங்கள் என தமிழ் மேடை நாடகக்கலை அமர்க்களப்படுத்திய காலம் ஒன்று இருந்தது. அதை பற்றி நிறைய ஆய்வுகள், கருத்தரங்குகள் நடத்தியிருக்கிறோம். நானே 25 மேடை நாடகங்களை எழுதி, இயக்கி, தயாரித்து மேடை ஏற்றியிருக்கின்றேன். சிங்கப்பூரில் மட்டுமல்லாமல் வெளிநாடுகளிலும் கொண்டு போய் நடத்தியிருக்கிறோம். அதையெல்லாம் ஒரு நூல் வடிவில் தொகுத்து நாடகம் நடத்தினோம் என்ற ஒரு நூலை கூட வெளியிட்டிருக்கிறேன். அதெல்லாம் பழைய கதை. மேடை நாடகக் கலையின் இன்றைய நிலை அருகி மறைந்து விடுமோ என்று கருதும் அளவுக்கு மரபு நாடகங்களை அரங்கேற்ற முன்வரும் குழுவினரை காண முடியவில்லை. நடிப்பு வாய்ப்புகளை வழங்கி வந்த வானொலி, தொலைக்காட்சி, ஊடக படைப்புகளிலும் ஒரு வித தேக்க நிலையை பார்க்கிறோம். ஒரு நாடகம் நடத்துவதென்றால் அதற்கான கதை, வசனம், பயிற்சி, பாடல், இசை, நடை, உடை, பாவனை, உச்சரிப்பு, தளவாடம், அரங்கமைப்பு, காட்சி ஜோடனை, ஒளி, ஒலி, விளம்பரம் என பலவற்றையிலும் கவனம் செலுத்த வேண்டும். இத்தனையும் செய்து உருவாக்கப்படும் நாடகக்கலையின் தரத்தை உயர்த்துவதில் இன்று நாட்டம் காட்டும் அகம் நாடகவாதி அமைப்பினரின் உன்னத பங்களிப்பை நாம் வரவேற்க வேண்டும். ஈராண்டுகளுக்கு முன்னர் தமிழ் மின் மரபுடைமை கழகமும் தேசிய நூலகமும் இணைந்து சிங்கப்பூரின் மேடை நாடக கலைப்படைப்புகளுக்கு புத்தாக்கம் அளித்தன. இன்றைய கணினி தொழில்நுட்ப இலத்திறன் பரிமாணத்தில் நாடகங்களை பதிவு செய்யும் பணியை அவர்கள் மேற்கொண்டனர். திரு அருண்மகிழன், திரு கணேசன் சுப்பிரமணியம், ஷர்மினி செல்லப்பாண்டி ஆகியோர் இந்த பெரும் பணியில் மேற்கொண்டு செயலாற்றினார்கள். இந்த மின்னியல் தொழில்நுட்ப கட்டமைப்பை இன்றைய நவீன சகாப்தத்திற்கு ஏற்ப வடிவமைத்து பயன்படுத்தி நாடக கலையை உலகளாவிய நிலைக்கு உயர்த்த இளையர்கள் முனைப்பு காட்ட வேண்டும் என்பதுதான் நமது வேண்டுகோள். அதை விளைவதுடன் நாடக கலை வளர்ச்சிக்கு மற்றொரு பரிமாணத்திற்கு இட்டு செல்லும் அகம் நாடக குழுவினருக்கும் இந்த நாடக பணியில் அவர்களுக்கு இருக்கும் பல பணிகளின் நடுவே நாடகத்திற்காக தங்கள் நேரத்தை ஒதுக்கி இந்த பணியை மேற்கொண்டிருப்பவர்களுக்கும் எங்களுடைய நெஞ்சார்ந்த நன்றியை தெரிவித்துக் கொண்டு அடுத்தது தொடர பணிவுடன் வணங்குகின்றேன். வாழ்த்துக்கள்.
Thank you, Mr. S.S. Sharma. S.S. Sharma is one of the pioneers who has done many theatre plays, which has paved the way for theatre practitioners like us till today. He's one of those who actually did travelling plays to countries like Mauritius in the years 1960s, and he's 90 years old and he's still passionate about theatre, and that is something that is still encouraging to many of us. A big round of applause for Mr. S.S. Sharma. Next, I would like to invite the co-founder and director of ITI, Mr. T. Sasidharan, to address us. Big round of applause.
Thank you. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I welcome you on behalf of ITI to this forum on Tamil theatre. I think that for those of us who love theatre, the boundaries of language, the boundaries of culture, the boundaries of nationality, the boundaries of identity are never a hindrance. These boundaries do not represent an impediment for theatre. They represent a catalyst for theatre. All of us who are here today, this morning, as we've already indicated, if you're here this morning at this time, you're here because something has moved you to be here. We are here because we want to see theatre flourish. But more importantly, it must flourish in the ground from which it emerges. Tamil theatre is in the deep soil of Singapore. It's part of the deep subconscious of what it is to be Singaporean, what it is to be from this land. And at this time, as we all know, with all the misunderstandings, miscommunications, and the misrecognition of Indians in Singapore, it is all the more important for the Tamil theatre community to speak with a loud, clear, and most importantly, a unified voice of what it means to be passionate about theatre. This is not a theatre that excludes anyone. This is not the Tamil theatre that I know, that I watched as a child, that I was familiar with on the radio, that I have seen projected on television, because all of these images of theatre that we are familiar with today on video, on YouTube, on film, all emerged from the stage. The stage is the womb which created these representations. And it is people like Mr. Sharma and many others who worked with that generation which endowed us with this potential, with this capacity, with this capability. And this morning, it's wonderful to see this intergenerational confluence. Let's commit ourselves to understanding the diversity that is Tamil theatre, the differences that are within Tamil theatre, so that we may better speak for Tamil theatre, so that we may better represent ourselves at a time when there are so many conflicting voices, when there is so much confusion about what it means to belong to Singapore. This is a new dawn, and I urge the Tamil theatre community to come together with a vision for the future. And ITI is delighted to be a part, to play a small part in this coming together. I wish you a very fruitful and productive morning. Thank you for being here, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, so now the welcome speeches are done, the opening address is done. Let's dive straight in. What are we here for? What are we going to talk about? Nadagavaathi is an initiative where all of us wanted answers. We were asking the same question for many years now. What is the future for Tamil theatre in Singapore? How much have we grown? Tamil theatre has been around in Singapore since the mid-1800s, since there were traveling troops from India who came to put in dramas and Tirukuthu. Since then, we have grown, multiplied in many ways. At one point, since 1920s till now, we had 60 theatre groups practicing Tamil theatre in Singapore. As much as we want to celebrate this, it has been a pattern where many of these theatre groups have closed down. Only very few have survived the test of time. So what are the factors that have been affecting Tamil theatre groups in Singapore? What needs to be done for a better future? So if we want to deduce how our future is going to be, we need to understand the past. So we have our first speaker to talk about the humble beginnings of Tamil theatre in Singapore, and talk about the need of senior theatre practitioners in Tamil theatre in today's Tamil theatre world. அடுத்து முதல் பேச்சாளர் இவருக்கு அறிமுகம் தேவையில்லை, ஏற்கனவே நீங்கள் படிச்சிருப்பீங்க. அவர் என்ன பேச போறாருன்னு நான் சொல்ல போறது இல்லை, அவரே பேச போறாரு. நேரத்தை விரயம் ஆக்கக்கூடாதுங்கிற ஒரே காரணத்தினால நேர அறிமுகத்துக்கு போயிடுறேன். மூத்த மேடை நாடக கலைஞர், நடிகர், முன்னாள் ஒலி 96.8 படைப்பாளர், தயாரிப்பாளர், எனது முதல் குரு, எனது தந்தை திரு ரே சோமசுந்தரம் அவர்களை முதல் பேச்சை வழங்குமாறு தாழ்மையுடன் கேட்டுக்கொள்கிறேன். Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome our first speaker for today. He is a senior theatre practitioner, actor. He was the veteran Oli 96.8 FM producer, presenter, my first theatre guru, my dad, Mr R Somasundaram. Thank you.
உங்கள் அனைவருக்கும் வணக்கம். முதலில் இந்த கருத்தரங்கில் என்னை பேசுவதற்கு வாய்ப்பு கொடுத்த ஏற்பாட்டு குழுவுக்கு என்னுடைய முதல் நன்றியை தெரிவித்துக் கொள்கின்றேன். தமிழ் மேடை, சிங்கப்பூரில் தமிழ் மேடை உலகில் நான் பெரிதும் மதிப்பவர்கள் இருவர். அதில் ஒருவர் திரு எஸ் சர்மா அவர்கள், இன்னொருவர் திரு எஸ் வரதன். இந்த இருவரையும் என்னால் மறக்க முடியாது. அவர்கள் பட்ட கஷ்டங்கள் எல்லாம் எனக்கு மிக நன்றாக தெரியும். அவர்களுடைய நான் அதிகமாக எஸ் வரதன் கூட இருந்து நாடகங்களை நடத்தி இருக்கிறேனே தவிர எஸ் சர்மா அவர்களுடைய நாடகங்கள், பல நாடகங்களை நான் பார்த்திருக்கின்றேன். அதில் இன்னும் என்னால் மறக்க முடியாத ஒன்று, அதை சொல்லித்தான் ஆக வேண்டும். இங்கே நான் என்னுடைய தலைப்புக்கு போவதற்கு முன்பு அதை சொல்லிவிட்டு போகலாம் என்று நினைக்கின்றேன். ரொம்ப அதிக நேரம் பேச மாட்டேன், என்னால் எனக்கு குறிப்பிட்ட டைம், அந்த நேரத்திற்குள் பேசி முடித்து விடுகின்றேன். அதாவது மகாபாரதத்தில் ஒரு காட்சி, துரியோதனன் துச்சாதனனிடம் சொல்லி சேலையை உருவச் சொல்லக்கூடிய ஒரு கட்டம். அந்த கட்டத்தில் திருமதி சுசிலா கிருஷ்ணசாமி அவர்கள் நடித்திருப்பார்கள். விக்டோரியா தியேட்டரில் நடந்த அந்த நாடகம். அவர் துச்சாதனன் சேலையை உரிய வேண்டும், கிருஷ்ண பரமாத்மா சேலையை கொடுக்க வேண்டும். இந்த சேலை வர வர அந்த சேலை வந்து கொண்டே இருக்கும். விக்டோரியா தியேட்டரில் யாருக்கு தெரியுமோ என்பது தெரியவில்லை, அங்கே கீழே ஒரு லிப்ட் இருக்கும். அந்த லிப்டில் நான் அவங்களை நிப்பாட்டி வச்சு இந்த சேலை உரிய கட்டத்தில் அப்படியே மேலே அந்த லிப்ட் வரும். அவங்க அப்படியே வருவாங்க, சேலை உறிஞ்சிக்கிட்டே வரும். சேலை பின்னாடி இருந்து அந்த சேலை வந்துக்கிட்டே இருக்கும். அதாவது மெய் சிலிர்க்கக்கூடிய ஒரு காட்சி என்று சொன்னால் அது மிகையாகாது. அந்த காட்சியை நடத்தி தந்தவர் திரு எஸ் சர்மா அவர்கள். ரொம்ப கஷ்டமான ஒரு காட்சி அந்த காட்சி. சரி, என்னுடைய தலைப்பு முதியோர்களுக்கு ஒரு நாடக தளத்தை அமைக்க முடியுமா, சிங்கப்பூரில் அதற்கான வாய்ப்பு இருக்கிறதா என்ற ஒரு தலைப்பிலே பேச கணேஷ் கேட்டுக்கொண்டார். கொஞ்சம் கஷ்டமான தலைப்பு தான், இருந்தாலும் கூட என்னால் முடிந்தவற்றை நான் பேசுகிறேன். அதற்கு முன்பு சிங்கப்பூரில் எப்படி தமிழ் மேடை நாடகங்கள் நடைபெற்றன என்பதை பற்றி நாம் கொஞ்சம் பார்த்துவிட்டு, ஒரு 4-5 நிமிடங்களுக்கு பார்த்துவிட்டு நாம் பிறகு அடுத்த அந்த என்னுடைய தலைப்புக்குள் நான் நுழைகின்றேன். 1819ஆம் ஆண்டு ஸ்டாஃபர் ராஃபல்ஸ் வந்தார். அவருடன் நாராயண பிள்ளை வந்தார். இதெல்லாம் நமக்கு தெரிந்த கதை. அவர் கூட கொஞ்சம் பேர் வந்தாங்க. பிறகு ஒரு 4-5 ஆண்டுகள் கழித்து 1827ஆம் ஆண்டு நாராயண பிள்ளை நம்ம ராஃபல்ஸ் கிட்ட போய், நாங்கெல்லாம் ஒரு கொஞ்சம் பேர் இருக்கோம், இந்தியர்கள் இருக்கிறோம், எங்களுக்கு ஒரு கோயில் வேணும், நாங்கள் அந்த கோயிலில் கட்டி கும்பிட்றதுக்கு எங்களுக்கு ஒரு இடம் கிடையாது, நீங்கள் எனக்கு ஒரு இடம் கொடுக்கணும் அப்படின்னு ஒரு போய் கேட்டார். கேட்டதுக்கு ராஃபல்ஸ் என்ன பண்ணாரு, உடனே சரி இந்தாப்பா எடுத்துக்க, இப்போ இருக்கிற சவுத் பிரிட்ஜ் ரோடு மாரியம்மன் கோயில் இருக்கு இல்லையா, அந்த இடத்த கொடுத்து சொல்லிட்டாரு, இந்த மாதிரி நீ போய் அங்கே ஒரு கோயில் கட்டிக்கன்னு கட்டினாங்க. ஆக சிங்கப்பூரில் கட்டப்பட்ட முதல் இந்து கோயில் 1827ஆம் ஆண்டு கட்டப்பட்ட கோயில் நம்ம சவுத் பிரிட்ஜ் மாரியம்மன் கோயில். அது அந்த கோயிலை கட்டி எல்லாரும் கூப்பிட்டு இருக்கும் பொழுது அப்புறம் கொஞ்சம் பேர் இருந்தாங்க, இந்தியர்கள் கொஞ்சம் பேர் இருந்தாங்க, தமிழர்கள் இருந்தாங்க. பிறகு ஒரு 100 வருஷம் கழிச்சு கிட்டத்தட்ட ஒரு 1000 பேர் வந்துட்டாங்க. அதாவது 1925 என்ன வச்சுக்கங்களேன், அந்த மாதிரி நேரத்தில் வந்தோன்னா கிட்டத்தட்ட ஒரு 1000 பேர்கிட்ட நம்ம இந்தியர்கள் வந்துட்டாங்க, தமிழர்கள் வந்துட்டாங்க. சரி, இந்தியர்கள் வந்துட்டாங்கன்னு சொன்னால் அப்போ திருவிழாக்கள்லாம் நடக்குமே, அந்த திருவிழாக்களில் என்ன செய்யறது அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு திருவிழாக்கள்லாம் நடத்தினாங்க. அந்த திருவிழாக்கள்லாம் நடந்துச்சு. அந்த நடக்கும் பொழுதே இவங்க என்ன பண்ணாங்க, சரி நம்ம எது கூத்துரு நாடகம் எல்லாம் வைக்கலன்னு சொன்னால் எப்படி திருவிழாக்கள் கொண்டாட முடியாது, அதெல்லாம் இருந்தால் தானே நம்ம நல்லா இருக்கும் அப்படின்னு சொன்னது பேரில் தான் தமிழ்நாட்டிலிருந்து முதலாக நாடக குழுவை வரவழைத்தார்கள். அதுல முக்கியமானவர்கள் காதர் பாட்ஷா, மொய்தீன் சாஹிப் அப்படின்னு சொல்லக்கூடிய 2 பேர். இவங்க தான் நாடக கம்பெனி வச்சிருந்தாங்க. அவங்க இங்க கூட்டிட்டு வந்தது இப்ப என்ன போட்டாங்கன்னா வள்ளி திருமணம், அல்லி அர்ஜுனா, இதெல்லாம் நிறைய பேர் பார்த்துருக்கீங்களா என்னன்னு தெரியல. நான் பார்த்துருக்கேன், வள்ளி திருமணமெல்லாம் நான் பார்த்துருக்கேன். அந்த நாடகங்களை போட்டா வள்ளி அர்ஜுனா இந்த மாதிரி நாடகங்களை போட்டாங்க. அப்போ அவர்கள் கொண்டு வந்த நாடகங்கள், தமிழ்நாட்டிலிருந்து வந்தவர்கள் நடத்திய நாடகங்கள் தான் முதலில் நடந்ததாக. இது நடந்தது 1923-24 நடந்துச்சு. அதற்கு பிறகு ஆனா இதை பார்த்த சிங்கப்பூர்ல இருந்த நம்ம அந்த நேரத்தில் இருந்த அந்த நம்ம தமிழ் பேசக்கூடியவர்கள், ஏன் இங்கே உள்ளவர்கள் நாடகத்தை போடக்கூடாது, இங்கே உள்ளவர்கள் ஏன் நடிக்கக்கூடாது அப்படின்னு நினைச்சுதான் 1935 திரு கவிஞர் நா பழனிவேலு அவர்கள் ஒரு நாடகத்தை எழுதி அதை உள்ளூர் கலைஞர்களை வைத்து, வெளியாடுகள் யாருமே கிடையாது, தமிழ்நாட்டில் யாருமே கிடையாது, உள்ளூர் கலைஞர்களை வைத்து போட்ட ஒரு முதல் நாடகம் தான் ஜானி ஆலன் அப்படிங்கிற ஒரு நாடகம். அந்த நாடகம் 1935 அதை தொடர்ந்து தமிழர் சீர்திருத்த சங்கத்தின் சார்பில் இவர் சுகுண சுந்தரம் என்ற ஒரு நாடகம், அந்த நாடகத்தை திரு நா பழனிவேலு அவர்கள் போட்டார். இவர் போட்டதுக்கு பிறகு மறுபடியும் நாடகங்கள் போட்டுக்கிட்டு இருந்தாங்க. அதை தொடர்ந்து நடைபெற்று இருந்துச்சு, மேடை நாடகங்கள் நடைபெற்றுக்கிட்டு இருந்துச்சு. அந்த வகையில் முதல்ல நம்ம உள்ளூர் கலைஞர்கள் ஆரம்பிச்சு போட்ட நாடகங்கள்ல தான் பகுத்தறிவு நாடக மன்றம், இந்திய நுண்கலை கழகம், சாரோட இந்திய நுண்கலை கழகம், அப்புறம் தமிழ் இளைஞர் குரல் நாடக மன்றம், இப்படி இன்னும் ஒரு 26 நாடகம் இருக்க மன்றங்கள். அதெல்லாம் நான் சொல்ல தேவையில்லைன்னு நினைக்கிறேன். எல்லாம் அதை நம்ம சொல்லி நேரத்தை வீணாக்க வேணாம். அந்த நாடகங்கள் அப்புறம் போட்டாங்க. இதெல்லாம் எப்போ நடந்துச்சு கேட்டால் 1951, 52 அங்கிருந்து ஆரம்பிச்சு 65 வரைக்கும் நடந்து போய்கிட்டு இருந்துச்சு. ஸோ அந்த காலகட்டம் தான் சிங்கப்பூரின் தமிழ் மேடை நாடகங்களுக்கு ஒரு பொற்காலம் என்று சொன்னால் அது மிகையாகாது. அந்த நேரத்தில் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா அவ்வளோ நாடகங்கள், 6 மாசத்துக்கு 2, ஒரு வருஷத்துல 6 அப்படி நாடகங்கள் போட்டுக்கிட்டு இருந்தாங்க. அப்போதான் பல கலைஞர்கள் உருவானார்கள் இங்கே இந்த இதில். இப்படி இருக்க இந்த காலகட்டத்தில் நடந்தது. அப்புறம் நாடகம் 1960களின் இறுதியில் அந்த நாடகத்தோட மேடை நாடகத்தோட இது குறைஞ்சு போயிடுச்சு. காரணம் தொலைக்காட்சி. சரி, இப்போ நம்ம தலைப்புக்குள்ள வருவோம். என்னுடைய தலைப்பு ஏன்னா இது உங்களுக்கு ஓரளவு கொஞ்சம் அந்த வரலாறு கொஞ்சம் உங்களுக்கு புரிஞ்சிருக்கும் அப்படின்னு நினைக்கிறேன். இது யாரும் நீங்க மறக்க கூடாது, இதெல்லாம் உண்மை. இது கட்டுக்கதையோ ஏதோ நான் திரித்து கூறுவதாகவோ இல்லை. சாருக்கு நல்லா தெரியும், சர்மா சாருக்கு நல்லா தெரியும். அதெல்லாம் இது எந்த காலத்திலையும் எங்க வேணாலும் நீங்கள் பேசலாம், அது எந்த தவறும் கிடையாது. சரி, இப்போ என்னுடைய தலைப்பு கணேசனை கேட்டுக்கிட்டது, சார் நீங்க பேசுங்க சார் அப்படின்னு கேட்டுக்கிட்டது முதியோர்களுக்கு ஒரு நாடக தளம் அமைக்க முடியுமா. சரி, முதல்ல நான் நினைச்சு பார்த்தேன், சரி முதியோர்களுக்கு நாடகத்தில் அமைக்கலாமாங்கிறத விட அவர்களுக்கு ஒரு வாய்ப்பு இருக்குமா, முதியோர்களுக்கு ஒரு வாய்ப்பு இருக்குமா, அந்த வாய்ப்பை நாம் எங்கே போய் தேடுவது, யாரிடம் போய் தேடுவது, யார்கிட்ட போய் கேட்கிறது. நிச்சயமாக நம்மளுடைய அரசாங்கம் முதியோர்களுக்கான ஒரு நாடக குழு நீங்க ஆரம்பிக்கிறீங்கன்னு சொன்னா நிச்சயமாக கொடுப்பாங்க, அந்த ஆதரவு கிடைக்கும். ஏன்னா இப்பதான் உங்களுக்கு தெரியுது, பைனியர் ஜெனரேஷன் இருக்குது, மெடேகா ஜெனரேஷன் இருக்குது, அதுலேருந்து அவங்க கொடுக்கறது அதிகமாக கொடுத்துக்கிட்டு இருக்காங்க. நாங்கள் இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு நாடக குழு ஆரம்பிக்கிறோம் அப்படின்னு சொன்னால் நிச்சயமாக அவர்கள் கொடுப்பதற்கான வாய்ப்பு அதிகமாக இருக்கிறது. அது மட்டும் இல்லை, என்ஐசி உங்களுக்கு தெரியும், தேசிய கலைகள் மன்றம் நமக்கு நிச்சயமாக வாய்ப்பு கொடுக்க இருக்கிறது. ஆனால் அதை முறையான வகையில் அந்த வாய்ப்பை நாம் பயன்படுத்திக் கொள்ள போகிறோமா, அதுதான் ரொம்ப முக்கியம். அந்த வாய்ப்பை முதியோர்களுக்கு வாய்ப்பு கொடுக்கறதுனால எந்த ஒரு பிரச்சனையும் இல்லை, இருக்க போறது கிடையாது. நிச்சயமா நம்ம கொடுக்கணும், கொடுக்கறதுக்கான. ஆனால் அந்த வாய்ப்பை நாம் எப்படி பயன்படுத்திக் கொள்ள போகிறோம். அதை எப்படி நாம் அணுகப் போகிறோம், அவங்கள்ட்ட நாம் எப்படி ஆடுவோம், அந்த முறையான ஒரு அமைப்பை நாம் உருவாக்கி கொண்டு அதன் மூலமாக நாம் அவர்களுக்கு எழுதணும் என்றால், எழுதி அனுப்பணும் என்றால் நிச்சயமாக அவர்கள் அதை கொடுப்பதற்கான வாய்ப்பு அதிகமாக இருக்கிறது. இது இல்லை என்று யாரும் இங்கே யாரும் மறுக்க முடியாது. அந்த வாய்ப்பை அவர்கள் கொடுப்பதற்கு தயாராக இருக்கின்றார்கள். அப்படி இருக்கின்ற பொழுது நாம் ஏன் அந்த வாய்ப்பை வேண்டாம் என்றோ அல்லது தவிர்த்து விடுவது, எதற்காக தவிர்த்து விட வேண்டும்? தவிர்த்து விட வேண்டிய அவசியமே கிடையாது. அதற்கான வாய்ப்பை நாம் உருவாக்க முனைய வேண்டும். இருக்கின்ற முதியவர்கள் இருக்கின்றார்கள், அவர்கள் உதாரணமாக என்னையே எடுத்துக்காங்களா. நான் இந்த வயசுக்கு எனக்கு 72 வயசு ஆகுது. இதை 72 வயசுலேயே நான் இன்னும் நடிச்சுக்கிட்டு இன்னும் சில சமூக காரியங்கள்லாம் ஈடுபட்டு இருக்கிறேன் அப்படின்னு சொன்னா அந்த மனம்தான், அந்த என்னுடைய மனம், எனக்கு வயசாகி இருக்கலாம், என்னுடைய மனத்திற்கு இன்னும் வயசு ஆகவில்லை. இன்னும் நான் இளைஞனாகவே இருக்கின்றேன். நான் அந்த இளைஞனாகவே தான் கருதுகிறேன். நான் இன்னும் சின்ன பிள்ளைல இன்னும் ரொம்ப அழகா இருப்பேன். இப்பவும் நான் அழகா இருக்கிறதா நான் நினைச்சுக்கிறேன். என்னுடைய 23, 24 வயசுல பாத்தீங்கன்னா அவ்வளவு அழகா இருப்பேன். நான் பெருமையாக சொல்ல, மற்றவங்க எல்லாம் சொன்னது, சில பெண்கள் சொன்னது, குறிப்பாக சில பெண்கள் சொன்னது. ஆனால் காரணம் என்ன? அதுக்கு அந்த காரணமே என்னுடைய மனம். நான் வயசு ஆயிடுச்சு, ஆனா உருவத்தால் கொஞ்சம் கிழவனாக இருக்கேன், அவ்வளவுதான். அது தவிர மற்றபடி ஒன்றும் இல்லை. ஆனா இருந்தாலும் நான் எல்லா இடத்துக்கும் போய்கிட்டு இருக்கேன். நேற்று கூட ஒரு இடத்துக்கு போனேன், அன்னைக்கு கூட ஒரு இடத்துல பேசினேன், லைப்ரரியில பேசினேன். பேச சொன்னாங்க, நம்ம நாடகத்தை பத்தி பேசுங்க அப்படின்னு பேசினேன். அதனால நான் முதியவன் என்று நான் நினைத்துக் கொள்வதே கிடையாது. அதே போல என்னை போலவே நிறைய பேர் இருக்காரு. ஜெயராமன் இருக்காரு, 82 வயசு இன்னும் நடிச்சுட்டு இருக்காரு, 80 வயசு நடிச்சுட்டு இருக்காரு. அவருக்கு ஒரு பெரிய கைதட்டு கொடுங்க நீங்க. ஏன்னா சரி, நம்மளால எல்லாம் சில நேரங்களில் நடக்க முடியறது இல்லை, உண்மைதான். இருந்தாலும் அதுக்காக கவலைப்படுறதுல ஒரு வாக்கிங் போறது, நம்ம ஏபி ராமன் சார் சொல்ற மாதிரி வாக்கிங் போயிட்டு அதை என்னை நான் ஒரு இளைஞனாக கருதி நான் செயல்பட்டு கொண்டு இருக்கின்றேன். அப்படிப்பட்ட எங்களுக்கு, என்னை போன்றவர்கள் ஏன் ஒரு மேடை நாடக குழுவை அமைக்க முடியும்? அதற்கான வாய்ப்பை அரசாங்கம் கொடுக்கிறது. அதை நிச்சயமாக நாம் அதை பயன்படுத்திக் கொள்ள வேண்டும். சரி, அடுத்தது அப்படி பயன்படுத்தி வாய்ப்பு கிடைத்து விட்டால் அதற்கான ஒரு தளத்தை நாம் உருவாக்க வேண்டாமா? அந்த தளத்தை எப்படி உருவாக்குவது? அந்த மேடை நாடக தளத்தை எப்படி நாம் உருவாக்குவது? அதற்கான தளம் நம்மளுடைய புரவலர்கள் நிறைய பேர் இருக்காங்க. இப்ப ஜலீல், ஹனிஃபா டெக்ஸ்டைல்ஸ், இந்த மாதிரி உள்ள நிறுவனங்கள்ல உள்ள நிறைய பேர் இந்த மாதிரி நாங்க ஒன்று ஆரம்பிச்சிருக்கிறோம் அப்படின்னு சொன்னா நிச்சயமாக மகிழ்ந்து போய் அவர்கள் இதை ஆச்சரியப்படுவார்கள். அவர்கள் என்னையே வயசான நீங்கெல்லாம் போயிட்டு இந்த நாடக குழு வைக்க போறீங்களா, நீங்கெல்லாம் நாடகம் நடிக்க போறீங்களா அப்படின்னு அவங்க ஆச்சரியப்படுவதோடு அல்லாமல் அதற்கான உதவிகள், என்னென்ன உதவிகள் செய்ய வேண்டுமோ அந்த உதவிகளை செய்வதற்கு அவர்கள் தயாராக இருக்கிறார்கள். அந்த வகையில் அதுக்கு தெரிந்தவர்கள் நிறைய பேர் நாம போய் அணுக வேண்டும். அவர்களிடம் அணுக இவர் அபிராமி எல்லாம் இப்போ நான் போய் கேட்டேன்னா நிச்சயமா அதுக்குள்ள பணத்தை அவர் கொடுப்பார், நிச்சயமா கொடுப்பாரு. நாடகம் போடுறோம் சார், நாங்க ஒரு 10-15 பேர் சேர்ந்து ஒரு நாடக குழு அமைச்சிருப்போம், எல்லாம் முதியவர்கள் அப்படின்னு. அந்த வகையில நாம அவரை போட்டு சொன்னோம்னா அவங்க கொடுக்கறதுக்கான வாய்ப்புகள் அதிகமாக இருக்கிறது. அவர்களிடம் நாம் போய் சென்று பணிவான முறையில சொல்லி இந்த மாதிரி நாங்கள் செய்ய போறோம் அப்படின்னு சொன்னேன். சரி, அப்படி மட்டும் காசு மட்டும் கிடைச்சிட்டா போதுமா? அது நாடகம் வேணாமா? நாடக நடிகர்கள் வேணாமா? அந்த நடிகர்கள் நாடகம் வேணும் அப்படிங்கிறதுக்காக நல்ல கலைஞர்கள், அந்த வயதான மூத்தவர்கள் இல்லையா என்றாலும் கூட இளையவர்களை, நம்ம இளவல்கள் போல உள்ளவர்களை அவர்களிடமிருந்து நாடக படிவங்களை வாங்கி இந்த முதியவர்களை வைத்து நாடகங்கள் நடக்க வேண்டும். ஆனால் இதில் என்ன ஒரு பெரிய ஒரு சிரமம் அப்படின்னு சொன்னா, இளைஞர்களுக்கு எழுதுற மாதிரி ஒரு நாடகத்தை நம்ம எழுத முடியாது. அதே முதியவர்களுக்கு எப்படி இருக்கணுமோ, 60 வயதை தாண்டிய முதியவர்கள் நடிக்க கூடிய அளவுக்கான ஒரு கதையை உருவாக்க வேண்டும். அந்த கதையை உருவாக்கணும் எப்படின்னா, இந்த வீல் சேர்ல போற மாதிரி, அப்புறம் இந்த ஊனிக்கிட்டு நடந்து போற மாதிரி, அப்புறம் 2 கிழவி சண்டை போட்டுக்கிற மாதிரி, இப்படிப்பட்ட ஒரு கதையை முதல்ல உருவாக்கி நாடகமாக ஆக்க வேண்டும். அப்படி ஆகினாதான் அவங்கள வச்சு நடிக்க வைக்க முடியும். ஏன்னா அது அந்த காலத்துல நாம ஆண்களை போய் பெண்கள் வேஷம் போட்டு நடிக்க வச்சோம். நம்ம பெண்களே இல்லாம ரொம்ப எஸ்வி நாதன் உங்களுக்கு தெரியும், எஸ்வி நாதன் அவர் அவர் ஒரு நாடகத்துக்கு நடிகை கிடையாது. உடனே என்ன பண்ணிருக்காரு, ஒரு நாள் நின்றுகிட்டு இருந்திருக்காரு, பஸ்ல பார்த்திருக்காரு ஒரு அழகான பொண்ணு போயிருக்கு. ஆஹா இந்த பொண்ணை நம்ம நாடகத்தில் போட்டால் நல்லா இருக்குமே அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு என்ன பண்ணார், நேராக அந்த பொண்ணு கூடவே போய் அவங்க வீட்டுக்கு போய் அந்த பொண்ணு பயந்துக்கிட்டே இருந்துச்சான். என்னடா இருந்தாலும் நம்மளையே சுற்றி வரான், நம்ம கூடவே வரானே அப்படின்ட்டு. எதுக்கு வர்றாண்டல், இவர் போற நோக்கம் என்ன, அவரை நம்மளுடைய நாடகத்தில் கதாநாயகியாக போட்டு விட வேண்டும் என்று. அப்படி என்ன பண்ணார், நேரம் பண்ண அந்த பொண்ணு எங்க இருக்குங்க அங்கேயே இவர் இறங்கினாராம். இது உண்மையா நடந்த சம்பவம். இறங்கினாராம். இறங்கி நேரம் அந்த பொண்ணு எந்த வீட்டுக்கு போகுதோ அந்த வீட்டுக்கு இவரும் போறாராம். பின்னாடியே போயிட்ட உடனே அங்க அப்பான்னு அந்த பொண்ணு ஓடி போய் அவங்க அப்பாட்ட கூப்பிட்டு இருக்கு. அவங்க அப்பா வந்து சொல்றாரு இந்த மாதிரின்னு, இந்த பாருங்க இந்த ஆள் என்னையே சுத்திக்கிட்டு வர்றாரு, என் பின்னாடியே வர்றாரு. அவன் வந்து என்னையா சார் ஒன்றும் தப்பா நினைச்சுக்காதீங்க, எங்களுக்கு என் நாடகத்தில் நடிக்கிறதுக்கு பெண் கிடையாது, எல்லாம் ஆண்களை தான் நாங்கள் பெண் வேடம் போட்டு நடிக்க சொல்லிட்டு இருக்கோம். உங்கள் பொண்ணு பார்க்கறதுக்கு அழகா இருக்கா, ரொம்ப நல்ல நடிகா வருவா, நான் தான் டைரக்டர், நான் தான் எழுதியிருக்கேன் நாடகத்தை, நான் தான் உங்கள் பொண்ணை நான் நல்ல நடிகை ஆகிறேன். ஓ அப்படியா, சரி பரவாயில்ல. அவர் பார்த்தா இவர் நல்லா பேசின உடனே வந்தாங்க. அவங்க தான் நடிகை சந்திரா அப்படிங்கிறவங்க. பிறகு அவங்க கோலம்பூருக்கு மலேசியாவுக்கு போய் அங்கே உள்ள நாடகங்களில் நடித்து பெரிய புகழ் பெற்றாங்க, நடிகை சந்திராங்கிறவங்க. அந்த மாதிரி இப்போ இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு நாடகங்களை நம்ம இப்படி இந்த முதியவர்களை நாம் போட்டு நாடகங்கள் நடத்துறதுக்கு நாம் தாராளமாக பயிற்சி பண்ணலாம். ஏன்னா இப்போ வந்து அது மட்டும் இல்லை, உங்களுக்கு ஒரு முக்கியமான ஒரு காரணம் சொல்றேன். கோல்டன் கேர்ள்ஸ் நீங்க கேள்விப்பட்டிருப்பீங்க, தங்க பெண்மணிகள். யாரு, நம்ம கிருஷ்ணவேணி நாராயணோட மக அலமேல நாராயணன் நடத்துறாங்க. அதுல டான்ஸ் ஆடுற அத்தனை பேருமே கிட்டத்தட்ட 60 வயசுக்கு மேல. அவங்க நடிச்சு ஒரு நாடக குழு, ஒரு நடன குழுவை வச்சு நடத்தி பெரிய பேரும் போல எடுத்துட்டு இருக்காங்க. எந்த ஒரு இடத்துல இருந்து என்னையா கோல்டன் கேர்ள்ஸ் இல்லையா அப்படின்னு கேட்கக்கூடிய அளவுக்கு அவங்க நடனம் ஆடிக்கொண்டு இருக்கின்றார்கள். அப்படி இருக்கும் பொழுது நாம் அந்த மாதிரியான ஒரு நடிகர்களை நாம் தேர்ந்தெடுக்க வேண்டும். இப்பவே நம்மகிட்ட வந்து நிறைய நடிகர்கள் இருக்காங்க. நான் இப்ப அன்னைக்கு சும்மா நான் எழுதிட்டு வந்திருக்கேன். ஒரு 16 பேர் நாங்க இருக்கேன். என்னை போல நான், ஜெயராமன், அப்புறம் வந்து ராம் நாராயணசாமி, வரதன், சுசிலகசாமி, கிருஷ்ணவேணி நாராயணன், குணசீலன், இப்படி வந்து ஒரு 15-16 பேர் இருக்கிறார்கள். இவர்களை வைத்து முதலில் ஒரு குழுவை ஆரம்பிக்க வேண்டும். அதெல்லாம் ரொம்ப முக்கியமானவர்கள். இந்த மாதிரி இந்த இளைஞர்கள் எப்படி ஆரம்பிக்கிறாங்களோ, எப்படி செல்வா, இவர் அடிபடி, இவர் நம்ம புகழேந்தி, இவங்கெல்லாம் வந்து நாடகக்குழு, இவர் ஆனந்த கண்ணன், இவங்கெல்லாம் வச்சு எப்படி நாடகக்குழு இருந்து ஆரம்பிச்ச இளைஞர் குழு. இந்த மாதிரி இப்போ புதுசா நான் சொல்றேன், பழசுதான் சொன்னேன். 26 நாடகக்குழு இருக்கு, பக்கத்துடைய நாடகமன்றம் மாதிரி 26 நாடகமன்றங்கள் இருக்கு. முதல்ல மொத்தத்தில் 29 இருந்துச்சு, இப்போ கடைசியில் 26 இருக்குன்னு இப்போ நான் கணக்கு எடுத்ததுல ஒரு 26 தான் எனக்கு கிடைச்சிருக்கு. அந்த மாதிரி இருக்கும் பொழுது இவங்கெல்லாம் செய்யும் பொழுது அந்த மாதிரி நம்ம வந்து ஒரு நாடக குழுவை முதலில் ஆரம்பிக்க வேண்டும். அதற்கு முக்கியமானவர்களை தேர்ந்தெடுத்து, இப்ப சார்லாம் எழுதணும்னு சொன்னா சார் தப்பா கேட்டா இன்னொரு நாடகம் எழுதி கொடுங்கன்னா சார் எஸ் சர்மா சார் எழுதி கொடுப்பாரு, ஒன்றும் பிரச்சனை கிடையாது. இல்லை சார் மெதுவா எடுத்துங்க. இப்ப நம்ம ஏபி ராமன் சார் கூட ஒரு நாடகம் எழுதுறேன் அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு இருக்கிறாரு. இந்த வயசுலயும் 84 வயசுலயும் ஒரு நாடகம் எழுதுறேன்னு சொல்லிட்டு இருக்காரு. எழுதக்கூடியவர்களை நாம் வைத்துக்கொண்டு அவர்களுடைய இந்த மற்றவர்களிடமிருந்து கிடைக்கக்கூடிய வளங்களை வைத்துக்கொண்டு நிச்சயமாக கண்டிப்பாக நாம் ஒரு நாடக குழுவை, முதியோர் நாடக குழுவை, மேடு நாடக குழுவை ஆரம்பிக்க முடியுமா? நிச்சயமாக முடியும். அடுத்து என்னுடைய கேள்வி, என்னுடைய கடைசி கேள்வி, அதோட முடிச்சிருவேன், ரொம்ப நேரம் போக மாட்டேன். தமிழ் இந்த முதிய மேடை நாடக முதியவர்களுக்கு என்ன பயன்? அதான் சரி, பயன் ஒண்ணு இருக்கணும் இல்லையா? சும்மா நடிச்சுட்டு போறதுனால என்ன இருக்கு? ஒரு பயன் வேணும். என்ன போது ஒரு பயன். என்ன பயன்? வீட்டிலேயே முடங்கி கெடுக்காம, அப்பா எந்திரிக்கவே முடியலடா காலையில, எம்மா சாமி அப்படின்னு வீட்டிலேயே முடங்கி கிடக்க முடியாம, நடக்க முடியாம, சரி எப்படி கால் வலிக்குது, முழங்கால் வலிக்குது, அங்க வலிக்குது, இங்க வலிக்குதுன்னு சொல்லி அதிலேயே தன்னுடைய நேரத்தையும் மற்ற செலவுகளையும் அவங்களுடைய திறமைகளையும் போட்டு அமுக்கி கொண்டிருக்காமல் அவர்கள் வெளியில வந்து வெளி உலகத்துல மற்றவர்களோட பேசி, மற்றவர்களுடைய பழகி, மற்றவர்கள் வந்து அவருடைய திறமைகளை எல்லாம் அறிந்து கொண்டு அவர்களை பாராட்டும் பொழுது, கமலாதிவிக்கெல்லாம் தெரியும், அவர்களை பாராட்டும் பொழுது, அவங்க வந்து மலையாள நாடகம் எழுதினவங்க, அவங்களை பாராட்டும் பொழுது அவர்களுக்கு கிடைக்கின்ற அந்த மகிழ்ச்சியும் அந்த உத்வேகமும் அதுவும் அந்த நேரத்தில் உங்களுக்கு கிடைக்கிற மகிழ்ச்சி இருக்குங்க, அந்த சந்தோஷம் இருக்கு, அது வந்து வேற எங்கேயுமே கிடைக்காது. ஒரு நாடகத்துக்கு நடிகராக உள்ளவர்களுக்கு தெரியும். ஒரு நாடகத்தில் ஒரு இந்த இடத்துல நடிச்சுட்டு நீங்கள் ரொம்ப நல்லா நடிச்சிங்க அப்படின்னு சொன்னால் அப்போ நம்ம அடைகிற மகிழ்ச்சி இருக்கு, அது வந்து எந்த காலத்திலையும் எங்கேயுமே கிடைக்காது. அப்படிப்பட்ட ஒரு உத்வேகம் இந்த முதியவர்களுக்கு கிடைக்கும். ஐயோ நானும் நல்லா நடிக்கிறேன், எனக்கு நல்லா நடிப்பு வருது, நான் முதல்ல சொன்னது மாதிரி நான் வந்து முதியவன் இல்லை, நான் வந்து கிழவன் இல்லை, நான் இன்னும் இளைஞனாகத்தான் இருக்கிறேன் அப்படிங்கிற அந்த உணர்வு அவர்களுக்கு வரும். இதை விட வேற என்ன? அவங்க வந்து காசு சம்பாதிக்கணும்னு நினைக்க மாட்டாங்க. நாடகத்தில் நடிச்சு காசு சம்பாதிக்கணும்னு நினைக்கல. நான் இந்த உலகத்தில் இந்த தமிழ் சமுதாயத்தில் ஒரு நல்லவனாக நான் இருக்கின்றேன். நல்லவனாகன்னா இன்னும் நடிச்சுட்டு இருக்கிறேன் அப்படிங்கிற அந்த வேகம் இருக்கிறதே, அந்த பயன், அதை விட வேற என்ன பயன் வேணும் அவங்களுக்கு? எனக்கு அதை விட வேற என்ன பயன் வேணும்? ஜெயராமனுக்கு இந்த நேரத்தில் இந்த 82 வயசுலையும் கூப்பிடுறாங்க, போய் நடிக்கிறாரு, நல்லா நடிச்சிங்க, நல்லா சொன்னா அவருக்கு அதை விட அவருக்கு வேற என்ன பயன் வேணுங்க? அந்த ஒரு பயனை போதும். அப்படிப்பட்டவர்கள் ஒன்றிணைந்து இந்த முதியோர் நாடக குழுவை ஆரம்பித்தால் நிச்சயமாக நம் தமிழ் மேடை நாடகம், முதியவர்களின் தமிழ் மேடை நாடகம் நன்றாக அமையும். மற்றவர்கள் போற்றுகின்ற வரையில் அமையும், மற்றவர்கள் பாராட்டுவார்கள். நாம் நிச்சயமாக செய்ய வேண்டும். மற்ற இனம், மலாய்க்காரர்கள், சீனர்கள், இவர்கள் எல்லாம் செய்கின்ற பொழுது நாம் ஏன் செய்ய முடியாது? முடிந்தால் கண்டிப்பாக முடியும், நிச்சயமாக முடியும் என்று கூறி விடைபெறுகிறேன். நன்றி, வணக்கம். நான் என்னுடைய பெல்ட்டை இறுக்கி போடல, அதனால கீழே வந்துகிட்டே இருக்குது. ரொம்ப நன்றி, பிடிச்சுக்கிறேன்.
I wasn't expecting the ending. Okay, thank you, Mr R Somasundaram, for that quick overview of Tamil theatre history in Singapore. He's started in the 1800s by traveling troops from India, led by people like Kadir Basha. They were doing a lot of Tirukuthu in Singapore. In the 1930s, many of the Indian migrants, they decided to stay on and settle in Singapore. So people like Palanivellu, Madanavel Pillai, they started troops in Singapore and started practicing Tamil theatre. In the 1950s, the state of Tamil theatre reflected the socio-economic situation of Singapore. Many Tamil theatre groups were closing down. They closed down due to the financial constraints and the introduction of TV. Many of the actors opted to act in TV and perform in TV. They were leaving Tamil theatre scene. In the 1970s, there was a resurgence with the introduction of Singapore India Kalaignar Sangam, Singapore Indian Artists Association, and other Tamil theatre groups that started off doing Tamil theatre again. In the 1980s, there was another surge of Tamil theatre groups where youngsters formed groups like Ravindran Drama Group, Agni Kuthu. All these groups were started in the 1980s. They were doing dramas then. And in the last 10 years, decade, we have seen a lot of Tamil theatre groups that has been introduced, they have incepted, and we are still seeing a very promising trend, a growth in Tamil theatre currently. After that, he went on to talk about the need for theatre for senior theatre practitioners. He was saying that there is definitely support from government organizations and funding bodies and corporate organizations who are willing to support Tamil theatre for seniors. And if there's a platform, he is confident there are interested parties, artists like Mr. Jairam, my dad, Mr. Gunaseelan. All these people are still passionate about acting and they look forward to performing and providing something through theatre to society. And he moved on to the existence of groups like Golden Girls. It's a dance group that is led by Madam Krishnaveni and her daughter. And the members comprise of everyone. They are beautiful ladies who are aged 60 and above. And they are still very much active. And people are actually looking forward to performances from Golden Girls. With that, I'm adding to his point, AGAM Theatre Group, they are actually organizing this workshop called Kalvettu. It is actually a workshop for senior citizens who are interested in writing or acting in theatre industry. So there are a lot of platforms, there are a lot of support, there is a lot of funding that is available for senior theatre practitioners. And I believe there's a lot that we can learn from the senior theatre practitioners. And together with them, the younger theatre practitioners can definitely progress together and advance the Tamil theatre scene. Of course, there was a brief moment he talked about his good looks, even at this age. I think that shows the confidence and the passion that still resides in all these theatre practitioners. A big round of applause for the senior theatre practitioners and our pioneers. And I guess the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Next, we are going on to the second speaker. Oh, before that, I'd like to introduce to you the Slido.com. Sly.do. Okay, that's a very interesting address. Those people who have questions right now, you don't need to write down your questions, or there might be a tendency that you might forget your questions later on. So use this opportunity. You can actually scan the QR code, and you can go to the site, and you can actually write down your questions over there. And the event code, as you can see, is #2413. So at any point, if there's a question that you are dying to ask, that's burning in you, you can immediately go down there and you can ask, or you can choose to use the mic later on to ask the question as well. Okay, so moving on, next we are going to talk about a very, very important aspect of theatre practicing, which is audience. See, I believe this, without an audience, there can never be a performance. So what is the social responsibility of theatre practitioners? How can we engage the audience? And what is the part that audience play in theatre making? So ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together to welcome Rethinavel Shanmugam, a drama lecturer from NI.
Okay, good morning everyone. My name is Reti. So the topic given to me is what do we see? An audience and observer perspective. And this is actually a very tough topic to unpack. Because ask any theatre maker and they will say that you can't make everybody in the audience happy. ஒரு நாடகத்தை பார்க்க போனா சூப்பர் தலைவான்னு சொல்லிட்டு போற கூட்டமும் இருக்கு. அதே நாடகத்தை இன்னொரு கூட்டம் பார்த்துச்சுன்னா டைரக்டர் ஆக்டர் ஸ்கிரிப்ட் எல்லாம் ஒரு ரோல் வச்சு கல்லால் அடிக்கணும்னு சொல்லிட்டு போறவங்களும் உண்டு. So and there's nothing wrong with those different responses within a theatre play. So in the act of watching and making theatre, different people make different meanings for themselves through the act of watching and making theatre. And within the theatre space, there is diversity for audience, practitioners and theatre makers, along with a multitude of perspectives that are explored, and there are also a multitude of causes that are fought for through theatre. And so it is also the same case with Tamil theatre as well. Can I have the slide to change? Thanks. So in order to unpack the complexity of this topic, we first need to understand what we are watching, because Tamil theatre means different things to different people. So the question then arises, what is Tamil theatre in Singapore? So almost always, as far as the format goes, it is a piece of performance performed for an audience in a proscenium, stage style or black box setting, and depending on the context of the play, language, whether modern Tamil or classical Tamil, remains a very strong component in the staging. And there seems to have evolved a certain mainstream format that we have been seeing. Even though there has been a lot of experimental work done in Tamil theatre, somehow the mainstream format seems to predominate. So a couple of questions arise. So suppose we have an English-speaking multiracial cast with only one Tamil actor speaking in English, exploring issues related unique to the Tamil community. Would we consider that Tamil theatre? Or let us suppose we have a play where there is no use of language at all, and all the cast are Tamils. Would we consider that Tamil theatre? Or we have a monologue adaptation of an English play adapted to Tamil settings, acted by a Tamil actor in English, Tanglish. Would we consider that Tamil theatre? So some of us would say yes to some of these things, some of us would say no. I personally would say yes to everything. But I would consider all of them as Tamil theatre. So the diversity of responses actually reflect the historical development of Tamil theatre in Singapore. And understanding this historical development may allow us some conspectors or common ground to see where we might need to go forward in future so that we can understand what changes the audience might want to see occur within the Tamil theatre space. So, little bit of history here, quick one. Mu Cheran, author of Indian Nadagam, traces Tamil drama as early as to Agathir, who is a sagely figure in the Tamil literary and religious canon. And Agathir has classified Tamil as in Tamil, not just Muri, but Tamil in three. Yel Tamil, Isai Tamil, and Nadaga Tamil. And Nadagam was seen to have encompassed both Yel and Isai. And there have been references made in major literature like Tolkappiyam, Silappathigaram, and Mani Megalai to the use of drama and to the prevalence of drama within Tamil society. So it's nothing new. It has been happening for a very long time. The interesting thing to note was how drama was tied intrinsically to both literature and language. And the role of literature and language then, what was the role of literature and language? So the role of literature and language was that it provided an inroad into community exploration and engagement. So the literature and epics in Tamil provided stories, archetypes, fiction that could be easily understood by the masses to tackle social issues. So Tamil drama, or Tamil Nadagam, was used primarily as a way of social engagement. And we could easily see this in the history. So we had things like Pallu Nadagam, Kodavanchi Nadagam, Nondi Nadagam. And all these dramas actually catered to the community and highlighted the lifestyles and the issues that the community faced. And then we had Kirtane drama, which emphasized the poetic and song. And the different forms of drama included Kuthu, shadow puppetry. So these were forms, but the main focus of the dramas were actually to engage with the community. And basically it became a mirror and a focal point for the community to have a dialogue. So if you look at the I'm not sure whether it's clear. The format of Tamil drama in those days was actually more intimate. Today we call it black box style, all right? But in Tamil drama, it was normally held outdoors. Audience were very close. In some points, they could just jump in and participate. So this was participatory theatre before we knew participatory theatre. And we have been doing it for a very long time. And so that was the format. So the primary purpose then for the literature and language, Tamil literature and Tamil language, was to create dramatic fiction that was needed in the drama to enable and empower the drama to develop inroads into community engagement. So what was Tamil theatre about then? If it's not just about Tamil literature and Tamil fiction and Tamil language, what was it about? It was primarily about community. So the overarching prerogative of Tamil theatre was actually community engagement. And what do we mean by that? So Tamil theatre was used as a space for dialogue. Tamil theatre was used as a space for reflection of the self and society. Tamil theatre was a space for divergent perspectives to emerge and for people to dialogue on. Tamil theatre was also a space for revolutionary action. Now, and I would like to touch upon what the earlier speaker had said, where he spoke about the advent of theatre being the womb of different media platforms. Even today, South Indian politics is dominated by cinema and actors. And you got to ask yourself why? Because the early history of Tamil Nadu politics was determined primarily by stage actors. And stage actors had a lot of sway and mass appeal simply because of a new platform called cinema. And a lot of them were theatre trained. And they could move their masses. And theatre then was used as a form of what I would use the term conscientization. It was to get people to see issues and not just see the issues, discuss and go off, but see issues, discuss and then do something about it. So theatre was a rallying call as well for revolution. And of course we can see that even today. And Tamil theatre was then an experiential space where all these were actually made possible. So ultimately, the dramatic process of Tamil theatre was experience, was audience experience and audience engagement. And it served as an inroad for community engagement and conscientization of the masses. So coming back to Singapore theatre, we had a history of Singapore theatre from the previous speaker as well. But I just needed to put this newspaper article up because Vadi posted it on Facebook and I stole it from him actually. So the roots of Singapore Tamil theatre is, it kept true to the heritage of what Tamil theatre was supposed to be. It kept true to engagement to the community, but it kind of broke away a little bit. There was engagement through modern and experimental forms, and I would like to, I think it's a bit too small to see, but I would like to quote Vadi from this newspaper article. Said Mr Vadivazhagan, "We want to steer away from the established theatre traditions. Theatre need not be rigid in its form. It need not even be confined to Tamil traditions." So we could see a little bit of tension there. And that tension is not because we Singaporean Tamils are rebellious against our heritage or culture. It's because we live in a multicultural socio-political context, and our needs and issues and differ from those of the motherland, right, from Tamil Nadu. And therefore, we need to be able to produce theatre that remains true and rooted to our own socio-cultural, multicultural context. And also because of the influence of Western theatre techniques, there needs to be an evolvement. So it's not a rebellion, it's an evolvement. It's an evolving art form. And Selvakantan also in this article says, and I quote, "Experimental plays are considered absurd and obscure, while realistic plays are simply identified as being similar to Tamil movies." So this also shows a tension on what audience are expecting Tamil movies played on stage, which is something I think a lot of theatre makers have issues with. And there's another little snippet there that talks about the problem facing Tamil theatre makers is actually audience support, which is odd, isn't it, if you think about it. If Tamil theatre was about audience engagement, community engagement, a rallying point for the community, why is there no audience anymore? Why are we struggling to fill up our seats? Something weird there, right? So something has gone wrong there. So, the other point I would like to make is, and this is another point of tension that I think Tamil theatre makers have, is we no longer rely on epics or language due to multilingualism and due to other sources of literature and fiction that we can refer to, that people are familiar with, to create our dramatic context. And some Tamil purists have issues with that. They were like, Tamil நாடகம்னா தமிழ்ல தான் போடணும், Tamil epics தான் போடணும், சமஸ்கிருதம் கூட இருக்க கூடாது. But we, like I said, live in a multicultural, multilingual context, and our references that make sense in our everyday lives come from all over the place. So that's another tension down there. So what are some of the issues? And I think I've touched on some of these things already. Now, we live in the midst of modern media technologies and entertainment, which are cheap. Netflix is a click away. It's available on your mobile phone. We still have Tamil cinema. So the entertainment for cost ratio, you can't beat that. You can't beat the accessibility to entertainment that we have now. You can't beat the spectacularity that cinema and TV can provide you, or Netflix can provide you. And we are also limited by costs of production. In Singapore, we are a minority. Indians are a minority, of course. But that doesn't mean Esplanade is going to charge you cheaper for renting the space because we are a minority, because our audience size is small. So 5,000 seats, you need to fill up the 5,000 seats to break the cost. So costs are high, and you can only engage, for example, that number of people on one day at that certain time. So you can't see Tamil theatre as just mere entertainment anymore. Even though a lot of audience members expect it to be entertainment, we can't see Tamil theatre as just mere entertainment anymore. So I think the solution is in the problem. What ultimately I think Tamil audiences want is not entertainment. I think we're barking up the wrong tree if you're going to say, I'm going to make a grander production, bigger props, better lights, more loud acting. I think that's not the way to go. I think the way to go is to really recreate the audience. I won't say educate the audience, sounds condescending, but recreate the audience we want to see through community engagement, going back to our heritage and roots. So what is theatre then? Theatre is about experience. And Tamil theatre is about experience and community engagement framed within the roots of multiculturalism and interculturalism. So I think the strategy moving forward is to move away from, not say move away, performances and grand performances will always have its place and validity within the Tamil theatre space. But I think we need to move back from performing the film on stage to community engagement to engage the audience base, as we were doing so historically. And I think moving forward, the art form need to evolve from theatre to applied theatre. So I think one strategy might be is to develop and deepen community engagement through applied theatre forms. Example, playback theatre, forum theatre, dialogue theatre. There are all these different kinds of theatre forms out there. And these theatre forms engage the audience to become part of the dramatic process as active participants rather than just as passive recipients of a performance. And thereby they empower the audience with a voice. And the dramatic fiction and stories that are done within applied theatre serve as a gateway for social exploration and experimentation, as opposed to being an end unto themselves. And participant audience, through the dramatic process, engage with it. And two things happen there. A, yes, they are exploring social issues, they are engaged, but B, they also learn the aesthetic. They are also learning drama. They are also developing an appreciation for drama. So when you finally put up that big show, they will turn up. Because there's a relationship. There is a relationship between me, the audience participant, and you, the applied drama theatre practitioner or theatre practitioner. And because you've engaged me in an affective manner, when you put up that big show, even if it's just a performance and I'm not going to be involved in it, I will turn up. Because you have done many other smaller shows where I am an active participant. So I think it's about building relationships with the audience, not just outside of the performance, but during the performance. And that's why I believe applied theatre and applied drama becomes very useful. And that requires, well, increasing the repertoire of skills as theatre makers and as artists, which means education, which means professionalization, which means doing our homework, which is very difficult because we may not have the funding. So it's really about looking out for opportunities to develop our skills and doing smaller workshop-based drama engagements. So you don't need to book a black box, you don't need to get a proscenium stage, you can just book a small classroom space, create an applied drama workshop, get 10, 15 people and do a very fruitful applied theatre process there. And we could do more site-specific theatre, site-specific applied dramas, and hopefully this, going back to the community, which is what Tamil theatre was all about, going back to the roots, going back to our audience, engaging them through the dramatic process, would not only serve to explore the social issues, communal issues that are uniquely ours and uniquely Singaporean, but also kind of impart and dialogue the dramatic process with them so they become engaged with the dramatic process. So like as I said, when we finally stage a big production, they will turn up, and not turn up to look at you, critique you and expecting a Tamil movie, but really look as theatre, as experience and as a dramatic process. Thank you, that's all I have. I hope I didn't exceed my time. Thank you.
Thank you, Rethi. He put forth a question, but the Esplanade is going to charge us lower because we are a minority group. David is here from Esplanade. I think he has a lot to talk about it. We have been talking about Tamil theatre. Just to clarify, Tamil theatre is actually derived from Tirukuthu. What we practice in Singapore right now is actually theatre in Tamil. But of course, for the convenience of conversations, we are going to keep saying Tamil theatre. Next, before we introduce our next speaker, I'm just going to quote Stuart Hall. Identity is formed and transformed continuously in relation to the ways in which we are represented or addressed in the cultural systems which surround us. With that, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together to welcome Grace Kalaiselvi, a full-time theatre practitioner.
It's always interesting how people always introduce me as a full-time theatre practitioner. Okay, எல்லாருக்கும் வணக்கம். I'll be speaking both in English and in Tamil because after all my topic is about bilingualism. So just a quick check. Everybody know English? Who doesn't know English? Okay, who doesn't know Tamil? Okay, good. So I think it's not a problem for anybody, yeah? Okay, good. But before I go into the topic that I exactly want to talk about, let me just put this forward also. Last year I created this group called Tamil Theatre Creators. It's just a Facebook group, and that's where the whole idea for this forum initiation was. And from then until now, actually I didn't want to be a speaker. I just didn't want to be because I was one of the organizers of this forum, and we were looking for female speakers. And to be very honest, it was not easy getting a female speaker. And I would really, really encourage the females who are present here today, please be more actively involved in the theatre scene, not just in the Tamil side, but also the English side. So next year, I would like to see at least 2 female speakers coming up and speaking. I think it's time we have this inclusion of women in theatre. It's very important. Okay, so moving forward, another quick check which I want the audience to tell me. Since I was introduced as a full-time theatre practitioner, how many of you here consider yourself a full-time theatre practitioner? Okay, happy to see at least 4 hands up. Okay, what exactly is a full-time theatre practitioner? யார் தான் வந்து முழு நேர நாடக செயல்படுவர் அப்படின்னு வச்சுக்கலாம். ஓகே, ஃபுல் டைம்னு கன்சிடர் பண்ணுன்னா அதில் என்ன அர்த்தம் இருக்குது? ஒரு சின்ன வாக்குவாதம் கூட இருந்துச்சு என் நண்பர் ஒருத்தரோட. ஏன்னா வந்து தமிழில் வந்து அநேக பேர் வந்து பகுதி நேர நாடகத்தில் பங்கெடுப்பவர்களாக தான் இருக்கிறாங்க. முழு நேரமாக அவ்வளோ பேர் வரல. ஆனால் நீங்கள் முழுமையாக நீங்கள் வந்து யோசிச்சிங்கன்னா நிறைய பேர் வந்து முழு நேரமாக தான் இருக்கிறீங்க. நீங்கள் செய்கிற வேலையை பொறுத்து இருக்குது. ஏன்னா முழு நேரம்னா நான் வந்து முழு நேரமாக வந்து ஒரு நாடகத்தை உருவாக்கி கொண்டுகிட்டே இருக்க முடியாது. ஏன்னா அதில் வந்து எனக்கு வருமானம் வராது. நான் வந்து வீட்டில் வந்து பில்லெல்லாம் கட்டணும், வீட்டுக்கு கட்டணும், எங்கள் அம்மாவை பார்த்துக்கணும், அதுக்கெல்லாம் பணம் தேவைப்படும். உண்மையான ஒரு இயல்பான ஒரு சிச்சுவேஷன். ஸோ முழு நேரமாக நான் என்ன பண்ணுறேன், நான் வந்து வாய்ஸ் ஓவர்ஸ் பண்ணுவேன். குரலை வைத்து தமிழ்லையும் ஆங்கிலத்திலையும் வந்து என்னால் முடிந்த வாய்ஸ் ஓவர்ஸ். தியேட்டர் எடியூகேஷன், பள்ளிக்கூடங்களில் போய் நாடகத்தை பற்றி கற்றுக் கொடுக்குறது, அந்த விஷயம் பண்ணுறேன். ட்ரான்ஸ்லேஷன்ஸ், ஆங்கிலத்திலிருந்து தமிழ், தமிழ்லேருந்து ஆங்கிலம், அந்த மாதிரி மொழிபெயர்ப்பு வேலைகளே நான் செய்கிறேன். இதை தவிர்த்து அதுக்கும் மீறின ஒரு இதுதான் வந்து என்னால் செய்ய முடிகிறது நாடகத்துக்கு. இதுவும் வந்து ஏற்கனவே ஒரு நாடகத்து சம்மந்தப்பட்ட விஷயம் தான் நான் செய்கிறது. மொழிபெயர்ப்பு, அந்த டிரான்ஸ்லேஷன் விஷயம் எல்லாமே நாடக சம்மந்தப்பட்ட ஒரு விஷயம்தான். இங்கே இருக்கிற பல பேர் வந்து சம் ஆஃப் யூ மே பி அ டிரான்ஸ்லேட்டர். தற்சமயம் வந்து நீங்கள் அந்த வேலையில் இருக்கலாம். தற்சமயம் நீங்கள் வந்து பள்ளிக்கூடங்களில் போய் கற்றுக் கொடுத்துட்டு இருக்கலாம். இன்ஃபேக்ட் ஐ வில் கன்சிடர் யூ அ ஃபுல் டைம் ஆஃப் மைண்ட். Correct, right? நீ கை தூக்கலையே. You know, some of you here are already a full-time practitioner. So let's not have this divide. ஆனால் என்ன ஒரு சின்ன வருத்தம், நீங்கள் வந்து சில பேர் வந்து முழு நேரமாக 8லேருந்து 5 வரைக்கும் ஒரு வேலை செய்கிறீங்க. அந்த வேலையை விட்டு நீங்கள் வந்து ஒரு நாடகத்துக்குன்னு ஒரு பேஷன், அந்த பேஷனோட நீங்கள் வந்து செய்கிறீங்களே, அது மதிப்புத்தக்க ஒரு மதிப்புக்குரிய ஒரு விஷயம்தான். ஆனால் முழு நேரமாக நாங்கள் செய்யும்போது வயிற்றுக்கும் செய்கிறோம். அந்த ஒரு விஷயத்தையும் பல பேர் புரிஞ்சுக்கணும். நீங்க அதுக்கும் ஆதரவு கொடுக்கணும்னு நான் கேட்டுக்கிறேன். ஓகே, இதை நான் ஏன் சொல்றேங்கிறதுக்கு ஒரு முக்கியமான விஷயம் இருக்கு. ஏன்னா நீங்க வந்து பைலிங்குவலிசம்னு பார்த்தா நீங்க ஆங்கில ரீதியில வந்து நாடக தொழிலுக்கு போனீங்கன்னா, இஃப் யூ ஆர் bilingual practitioner and you start practicing in the English theatre, like English language theatre side, you need to kind of understand this freelance full-time concept. That's one of the reasons why I brought it up as one of my second pointers. Okay, quick check. What do you think is the current Indian population in Singapore? Close lah. Okay, Singapore's population is 5.64 million in total. Okay, but those who are residents, Singaporeans and PRs, it's 3.99 million. Chinese 74%, Malays 13%, Indians are 9%. Okay, and then of course we have the others. How many of this percentage do you think are Tamils? Out of the 9%. After all, we are speaking about Tamil language forum, right? So that's why I'm bringing specifically this Tamil aspect of it. Okay, it's actually 54.18% are Tamils. So the rest of them, they're actually like 7.57% we have Malayalis. Then we got 5% were Punjabis, 1% Gujaratis, 1% Sindhis, 0.9% Sinhalese, 29.68% consisting of all the other various groups. Okay? So, overall Singapore population, we only 5%. It's something worth to actually take note of. I am very proud of my language. Tamil பேசுறது வந்து எனக்கு ரொம்ப முக்கியமான ஒரு இது. ஏன்னா when I started doing theatre for the very first 10 years of my theatre life from 1994, I grew up in Tamil language theatre. And actually at this point when Rethi was speaking, I always asked myself, is it Tamil as a race or Tamil as a language? Because what are we exactly doing? Are we doing Tamil cultural aspects of theatre? We did not do it. But in Singapore right now what we are practicing is Tamil language theatre. Because it's more of a language-based skill that we're actually polishing it up. And I'm happy about it. I'm not saying it's wrong. Because if you go to the English side, there's nothing English about the theatre. It's also English language theatre, to be very honest. Okay, so everybody is doing a language-based theatre in Singapore. Okay? The reason why I'm mentioning that is because, okay, I'm lost in thought, but never mind. Okay, 5% of the population. The one question that I do ask myself, how often are we going to present our language, our culture, whatever we're going to present, just to the 5% of the population? When are we going to actually address the 95% of the population? Which is the one question that I keep asking myself and I keep asking my fellow practitioners. I don't know how many of you all agree, because people are willing and dying to listen to us. You know, Tamil is a beautiful language. Tamil. அழகிய ஒரு மொழி. அதை வந்து நீங்க கொண்டு போனீங்கன்னா அவங்க ரசிப்பாங்க. ஆனா நம்ம கொண்டு போறோமா அதுதான் ஒரு பெரிய கேள்வி. கவிதைகள்லாம் நம்ம எழுதுறோம், படைப்புகள்லாம் நம்ம செய்யறோம். ஆனா அநேக நம்ம தமிழ் நிகழ்ச்சிகளை நீங்க பாத்தீங்கன்னா ஆடியன்ஸ் எல்லாம் தமிழர்களா தான் இருக்கிறாங்க. ஏன் பிற மொழிக்காரங்க பிற மொழிக்காரங்க வந்து அந்த நிகழ்ச்சியில கலந்து கொள்ள, அவங்கள ஏன் நம்ம சேர்த்து கொள்ளல? இப்போ உள்ள நாடகங்களுக்கு நான் மதிப்பு கொடுக்குறேன். ஏன்னா சர்டைட்டில்ஸ் எல்லாம் போட ஆரம்பிச்சுட்டாங்க. Which is very important. You need to provide the subtitle so that other language people can understand. But beyond the subtitle, there's an understanding of what is happening on the play, which is very important. Which is the direction I feel that we need to go into. Okay, coming to bilingualism. Why do you think it's important? Why is bilingualism important? Anyone got any answer?
I think bilingualism is important because it's also been proven. I'm a doctor by the way, so it's also been proven now, especially for our senior citizens and from for the Merdeka generation, okay, or for anyone. As long as you practice bilingualism, it trains both halves of the brain, and it is also shown to increase a person's understanding, how they process things, and how they actually appreciate life. Eventually, the government will find this out much later and implement policies which eventually will come much later. So maybe not our generation, but a few generations later will benefit from this. But just a thought lah.
Which is a good thought, because it actually makes you think in two languages. Okay, but before I start the bilingual aspect, I also want to put out one thing across. I'm not an academic. Okay, I'm not a researcher. So what I'm actually going to speak about is basically from my observation, from what I've viewed and my experience. நான் பேசுறது வந்து என்னோட அனுபவத்தில் நான் பார்த்த விஷயங்களை வச்சு தான். இதை பற்றி நான் முழுமையாக ஒரு ரிசர்ச் ஒன்றுமே நான் செய்யலை. ஏன்னா நான் அந்த அளவுக்கு உள்ள ஆளு கிடையாது. தாழ்மையாக அதையும் சொல்லிக்கிறேன். ஓகே, முக்கியமாக நமக்கு எதுக்கு வந்து இந்த bilingualism தேவை? access. You need to give access. Because நான் வந்து ஆங்கில நாடகத்தில் நடிக்க தொடங்கினதுலேருந்து எனக்கிட்ட ஒரு கேள்வி மட்டும் நிறைய பேர் கேட்டாங்க. தமிழர்கள் எங்கே? Where can we find Indian actors? Why are we not seeing Indian actors? சுலபமா நீங்க சொன்னீங்கன்னா அவங்களோட இக்னரன்ஸ் இருக்காங்க, நீங்க போய் தேடுங்க, கண்டுபிடிக்கலாம். ஆனா இன்னொரு வகையில பாத்தீங்கன்னா நம்ம எவ்வளவுதான் நம்மள மார்க்கெட் பண்ணிக்கிறோம். இந்த வசனத்தை நான் ரொம்ப வருஷமா கேட்டுட்டு இருக்கேன். ஒரு குண்டு சட்டிக்குள்ள குதிரை ஓட்டிக்கிட்டு இருக்கோன்னு நிறைய பேர் என்கிட்ட சொல்லியிருக்காங்க தமிழங்க. நம்ம நாடகங்களை வந்து நமக்கே போட்டுக்கிறோம், அதே வட்டத்திலே போட்டுக்கிறோம், நம்ம மக்களுக்கே போட்டுக்கிறோம், நம்ம சொந்தக்காரங்க, நம்ம நாடக வட்டத்தில் இருக்கிறவங்க நமக்குள்ளேயே போட்டுட்டு இருக்கும்போது இங்கதான் நம்ம இருப்போம், இங்க வரமாட்டோம். இங்க வந்தாதான் மற்றவங்க உங்களை பார்ப்பாங்க. யூ நீட் டு லெட் அதர்ஸ் see you. ஸோ என்னால் முடிஞ்ச அளவு யாரை என்ன கேட்டாலும் நான் ஒன்று சொல்லுவேன். தமிழ் நாடகத்தில் பார்த்த ஒரு பேஷன் நான் வந்து ஆங்கில நாடகத்தில் பார்த்துருக்கேன். பட் இங்கே ஒரு வெறித்தனமான ஒரு பேஷன் இருக்கும் தமிழ் நாடகம் போடுறவங்களுக்கு. உண்மையை சொல்கிறேன். ஏன்னா என்ன மாதிரி வெறித்தனம்னா சொந்த பணத்தை எடுத்து போடுவாங்க, நாடகத்தை போட்டுருவோம். நான் கூட செஞ்சுருக்கேன் ஆரம்ப காலத்தில். புக் பண்ணணுமா, ஓகே ஓகே சேலரியிலேருந்து நான் அடுத்த காசை போட்டு புக் எடுத்து நான் செஞ்சிடுறேன். நாடகத்துக்கு காசு தேவையா, ஓகே சம்பளத்திலேருந்து எடுத்து போட்டுடுறேன், செய்வோம். வெறித்தனமா இருப்போம். நாடகம் கடைசி நேரத்தில் வந்து ஒன்னா நல்லா கூடணும்னு எல்லாரும் ஒரு 50 பேர் வந்துடும். ஒரு நாடகத்தை தொடங்கினது 3 இருந்தாலும் கடைசியில் இருக்கிறது 50 பேர் வந்துடுவோம். ஏன்னா அந்த தமிழ் நாடகம் வெற்றி பெறணும்னு ஒரு வெறி மனசுல ஒரு ஆதங்கம் நம்மளுக்கு இருக்கும். அது ரொம்ப முக்கியமான ஒரு விஷயம். இதை வந்து நான் ஆங்கில நாடகக்காரங்களுக்கு கொண்டு போவேன். I was just mentioning how I think that Tamil theatre practitioners are very passionate. Whatever money that they have, right, they'll put and do the production. It's not about I think uncle தான் சொன்னாங்க, எங்களுக்கு காசு தேவையில்லை, நாங்கள் நாடகத்தை போடுவோன்னு. இந்த வயசுல அங்கிள் சொல்றாங்கன்னா இதே ஒரு வெறியோட தான் அவங்க சின்ன வயசுல இருந்து செயல்பட்டுட்டு வராங்க. அவங்க தலைமுறையில இருந்து வந்தவங்க தான் நாங்கள் எல்லாரும் அதே ப்ராக்டிஸில் தான் இருக்கோம். 10 வருஷமாக நான் தமிழ் நாடகத்தில் செய்யும் போது சம்பளம் கிடையாது. ஆனால் எங்கள் அம்மா சொல்லுவாங்க, வீடு ஒரு ஹோட்டல். வாஸ்தவம் தான். ஏன்னா வேலைக்கு போவேன், நாடகத்துக்கு ஈவினிங் போவேன், ராத்திரி வந்து தூங்குவேன், காலையில் வேலைக்கு போவேன், நாடகத்துக்கு போவேன், ராத்திரி வந்து தூங்குவேன். வார இறுதி நாள் வீக்கெண்ட்ஸ் எல்லாமே வந்து நாடகத்தில் தான் இருக்கும். வீட்டில் எங்கள் அம்மாவோட நேரம் செலவழிக்கிறது கொஞ்சம் நேரம் தான். காசு வந்து வீடுக்கு கொஞ்சம் தான் கொடுப்பேன், மற்றதெல்லாம் நாடகத்துக்கு போட்டுருவேன். ஸோ இதுதான் நம்ம வாழ்க்கை முறை, which is good. பட் இந்த எக்ஸஸ் வந்து ஏன் நம்ம வந்து ஆங்கிலக்காரங்களுக்கு கொடுக்க மாட்டேங்கிறோம், ஆங்கில மொழி நாடகங்களுக்கு கொடுக்க மாட்டேங்கிறோம், ஏன் நம்ம மற்றவங்களோட போய் வேலை செய்ய மாட்டேங்கிறோம்? அது எனக்கு அடிக்கடி நான் கேட்கக்கூடிய ஒரு கேள்வி. நம்மள அவங்கள்ட்ட கொடுப்போம். நம்ம வந்து 2017 ஒரு நாடகம் போட்டோம், அஸ்வானி அஸ்வாத் அவங்க தான் எழுதுனாங்க அந்த நாடகத்தை. ஆப்சன்ஸ் மேக்ஸ் த ஹார்ட். இதை வந்து 2017 வந்து சென்டர் 42ல போட்டோம். போன வருஷம் 2018 வந்து லசா லோவர் கேஸ் கேஃபேல போட்டோம், பார்ட் ஆஃப் சிங்கப்பூர் தியேட்டர் ஃபெஸ்டிவல். இது ஒரு முக்கியமான நாடகம் நான் சொல்லுவேன். ஏன்னா அந்த நாடகத்தில் வந்து 1960 தமிழர்கள் ஆங்கில நாடகத்தில் நடிச்சதை பற்றி உள்ள ஒரு நாடகம். Okay, இதை நான் இங்கிலீஷ்லேயே சொல்லிடுறேன். We did this play called Absence Makes the Heart, which was written by Aswani Aswat sitting there. It was staged, Alfian Sahar initiated the project and it was staged at Center 42 in 2017 and later at Lowercase Cafe as part of Singapore Theatre Festival in 2018. Okay, the play was an important play because the play spoke about Indians being in English plays. In the 1960s, majority of the actors were Indians. Sasi would know that. Because Indians had the ability to speak the language. We were very good in the language. And in the 1960s, when the plays were staged, it was a very language-based theatre at that moment. We had Sasidharan, we had Rajagopal, we had Chandran. Who else do we have, sir? Suresh Menon, Kim Ramakrishnan. So there were so many of them. Okay? Then as time went past, in the 1980s, it started becoming more social-based drama. And when the social-based drama started appearing, it went into family-oriented thing. And Singapore's majority race being the Chinese, it started being Chinese family-oriented plays. And the Indians were used as, either if there's a stereotypical role, the Indians will appear, or only if they are a friend of the main character. But never the main character, because the main family story is never about Indians. And that really disturbed me. It really disturbed me. We had a good playwright at that time in the 1980s, Ilangovan. He wrote brilliant plays, and we have forgotten him. You know? But the part about Indian narrative missing was really a disturbing factor for me. we have so much to share. I mean, no one understands our culture that much. We have weddings which are unique. We have funerals which are unique. Even our life system, the way we live, the way we eat, everything is different. But we're keeping it within our own kundu sati, We're not bringing it out. People will never know us if we don't tell the other people the other story. Okay, that's one of the reasons why I started this initiative last year. I wanted us to connect with the other side. And the one thing I did is I proposed a playwriting workshop, and I invited Alfian Sahad to do it. And we had about 16 people, 16 Indians. The workshop is for Indians, actually. I managed to get grants from National Arts Council, and it was a very fruitful workshop because they learned different style. In the workshop itself, we covered Indian playwrights' work, Rani Murthy's play. Those are the participants, who can remember? We covered Ilangovan's play, we covered Talak, we also covered Aresh Sharma's play. So all the Indian playwrights, Singaporeans, Malaysians, whoever's existing, whoever play, it was a very fruitful workshop. And I wanted it to continue. So at the end of it, what we're having now is we formed this collective called Brown Voices. Okay, where we are planning to actually write about Indian narratives because it's important. Because we need to tell our stories to people. So we do have that right now. There's about 14 of us in the group who are working towards that. And I'll tell you more about a promotional event that's happening at the end of the month later. Okay. The one question I do ask myself is, do I look at myself as an Indian or as a Tamil? It's a question that I always fight with, because when I see an Indian being portrayed in the English side, I'm happy. But then at the second time in my heart, I will start thinking, it would be nice if that was a Tamil. It would be nice if the Tamil language was represented. Because there was this play, Dragonfly, that was staged in 2017, I think. 2017. It was a beautiful play. 2018 for SIFA, right? Yeah, it was a beautiful play. Okay? At the end of the play, all the cast started speaking in Hindi. And I was like, for a moment taken aback. Hindi on stage for a SIFA event. I'm happy that the Indian language is up. Why is the Tamil language not there? Again, last year for SIFA, last year, they brought in from India, Shabana Azmi and Javed Akhtar. A Hindi program was done. And at the back of my mind, I always keep thinking, why are not Tamil programs being brought and explored, especially since we are an official language of the country? Why is there a missing link there? Why are we not there? It's a sad thing, but I hope we can improve and change it. I'm not trying to stir divides or anything, but I think I really love the language and I would like to see more of the language in the English side as well. For me, the basic of it is we need to grow together and we need to up ourselves. And I would strongly encourage people to actually become full-time, if you can, because that's the only way we can actually achieve this in a way. If we want to see ourselves being represented on the other side, our language being represented on the other side, this is one of the ways. And there's three aspects to it. For me is the actor must come out. The actor must be willing to bring themselves to the other side. I find it very weird saying the other side. It's not the evil side, it's a nice side, okay? You must expose yourself. I was very happy when I saw Karthik and Udaya and LaSalle studying. Because we need more people to come out and study. If it's not a full-time 3-year course, at least do part-time courses. Because when you come to the English side, the one thing that you're going to face is competition. Because we have SOTA, we have LaSalle, we have NAFA, we have ITI. All these people are going to graduate and come out with an education. They are your competitors. So the Indians do come out to the English language side, which is necessary. You need to be equally equipped with the skills to do that. So I just hope that more of us will come. And at the same time, is also our audience that I need to address, since we had the audience perspective earlier. It's not just about being in the theatre on stage. It's also about us watching English productions, which is very important. Because a lot of times I go to the theatre, the one thing I do, just 5 minutes before the house closes, right, I look around at the audience. How many Indians am I seeing? And there are a lot of times I only see 2. Why are we not going to watch English plays? Are we afraid? I don't think so. Is it expensive? Maybe. Even as a practitioner, sometimes I find the ticket price too expensive to purchase. But try, at least in a year, watch 1 or 2 or 3. It will help you understand, in a way, where we are. It will help you understand how much we need to go forth. It will help you actually understand what is lacking. Then only we will know what we need to do. If not, we will never learn. And so our Indian audience need to be there just as much as the actors need to be there. And yeah, the non-Tamils, there are plenty of non-Tamils who are watching English productions, but I'm not seeing the Tamil people in the scene, which is saddening for me, but I hope it changes. And finally, the media aspect of it. Why are we not getting media support? Okay, I've been doing bilingual theatre practice since I graduated from ITI in 2014. So 2015 onwards, when I started doing productions, the one thing that I'm focusing on is multilingual plays or bilingual plays, because that for me is important. Because just before that, when I started watching productions, multilingual plays, right, you'll hear the English language, you'll hear the Malay language, you'll hear the Chinese language, but you'll never hear the Tamil language. Saddened me so much. Why is our language always missing in a multilingual production? Simple reason, they can't afford to, they cannot find the actors to put in their productions. I'm happy Sangeeta is a rising star right now. No, I'm seriously, babe. We need people like her to represent us in English plays, to be able to speak the language in the plays. You know, we get sad and offended when an Indian skinned person speaks the language wrongly, which happened when Hotel was staged. The play Hotel by Walrice. When the Tamil language was said by the actors on stage, even I went like, because it was just 2 lines. Avanga nammala patti pesranga, something like that. But they started speaking it in a very American-fied manner. Avanga nammala patti pesranga, like that. And it was brown-skinned people, and that to me was like, and it's not just me, I'm not a practitioner, no? There was another audience member who was a non-practitioner, and she felt the same way. Immediately she said, oh, Tamil is bad, Tamil is bad, Tamil is bad. So all the more, if we want to learn and listen to good language, good Tamil language in the English plays, we need to be there. We need to sell ourselves to them, maybe. Okay? So when I started staging the plays, like my mother, I did it in Malay, English, and Tamil. And then my mother, I did it in English, Malay, Chinese, Hokkien, Tamil, Bahasa, Indonesia. I had many languages in it. Arun Magaldan came for the play, and he actually opened the question to the audience to see if they understood it beyond the language barrier. And the audience actually understood it. That's why you don't need the subtitles all the time. It's a matter of how you actually bring your play across to the audience that's important. But the reason why I'm bringing my bilingual plays is, as an Indian, when I represent the Indian community and when I go and do works in the English side, the very sad factor is I don't get support from Indian media. I don't. I spoke to Tamil Murasu to cover my programs. The one reply that I get a lot of time is, we have limited journalists, we can't send people to your program. I understand the limitations, but I think it's important. Don't just celebrate the artists when they are glorified in the English side, but support them in the process. I think that is very important. Okay, I do not want to take too much time. I hope I give you enough pointers to think about why it is necessary to practice bilingualism. I know I told you I speak in Tamil, but I spoke very little because I do want the non-Tamil speaking people to understand. I hope you all understand, okay? So I'll just end my speech here. Please come out and practice bilingualism in the theatre side as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kalai. Right now, I'm pretty sure we have lots of questions. Are we supporting Tamil theatre enough? Why aren't they speaking Tamil in multilingual plays? What can be done? How are we going to progress together? I'm pretty sure all of you are experiencing a catharsis moment. So we are going to go for a break. We are going to have some refreshments. And when we come back, we are going to hear from our final speaker, Vadi, and we'll be opening the floor to questions and answers. So, refreshments are being provided at the balcony over there. All right, thank you. You can go for your break. Ladies and gentlemen, Nadagavaathi is an initiative by a very new group called AGAM Theatre Lab. They are here to make a difference. They are here to do a lot for Tamil theatre. And as a very, very first initiative, they have organized this forum just to understand the relationship between audience and the theatre practitioners. They are here to make relevant theatre, to engage the society as one, and they are here to grow together with all of you. So, on behalf of AGAM Theatre Lab, NITI, I would like to thank all of you once again for being part of this forum. Now, to our next speaker, again, he needs no introduction, I'm going to just call out. எப்படி introduce பண்ணணும்னு கேட்டதுக்கு எப்படி இருந்த இவரு இப்படி ஆயிட்டாரு அப்படின்னு சொன்னாரு. So ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Vadivazhagan PVSS.
Thank you. Okay, I was thinking that I can do some voice projection. I hope you all can hear me. Everyone can hear me, right? Okay. Whatever I'm going to do is. Oh, I need my. Maybe yeah. Additional weight. Okay, anyway. Okay, when I was approached to do this talk, Kalai told me that let's do some future gazing, something that I can actually highlight. So I told myself, okay, what can we do? What can we say? And Ganesh told me that this will also be transcribed, and NAC would be actually getting this set of notes. And I was telling myself, wow, good opportunity, isn't it? So all my anger, everything came, and I told myself, okay, today I'm going to be an angry man, and I'm going to speak my mind. So if I'm going to cross the line, we will censor that. No, but I'm going to be quite frank. What I know, what I've seen, what I've done, and what I'm seeing, and I'm also trying to make a point as in what can be done and what should be done. And I think people who have attended the earlier talks with respect to English theatre, you would have gotten a sense of where exactly theatre is moving. Now, I have a problem with the word Indian. I'll be very frank. I think in India themselves, the people themselves in India, they have various definitions of what Indian means. Even the word India comes from a Peloponnesian word for rice traders. It's not something that is born from the country, right? So, when suddenly some people tell me, hey, Vari, you're a Singaporean Indian, I will say, no, I don't hold dual citizenship. I'm a Singaporean, full stop, right? Okay. Then comes this article, which I chanced upon. I kind of don't read that much our local papers. Nothing, it's just that I don't have time to read. And this article landed on my lap while I was flying off somewhere. And very surprisingly, they put there, firstly, there's a lot of misinformation in the article. For example, they said that many in the Tamil theatre and television scene got their start through RDG, including playwright, actor Vadi PVSS. Ada pavi ada kandupidichadhu namba daanda. You were the founding member. Ana edha namu start kedachan. Seri, okay, never mind. Then what was very interesting was rethinking Tamil theatre. Now, how do you rethink Tamil theatre? Okay, firstly, you must know what is Tamil theatre before you rethink about it, isn't it? What people fail to realize is Tamil theatre is different from theatre in Tamil. Right? So, what is Tamil theatre? Which is something that people have touched on. So, you now would understand the journalistic value in this article, isn't it? I feel sad because, come on people, information is out there. You have to do at least basic research before you even write in a national paper, isn't it? Anyway, sorry if Akshita Nanda is not here, right? Sorry? Okay. Well, actually, I contacted her through Facebook and I said, please do come for this forum. Because I think we need to educate a lot of people, right? A lot of people. Whether it is arts funding bodies or... Okay, that's all. I'm going to go to the... Now, so what is language-based theatre? So I think that is something that we are all doing. A lot of us are doing, right? Then comes traditional theatre forms, which can be called Tamil theatre. See, it's the form. It's a full form, full-fledged art form on its own, right? Whether it's Terukuttu, Kodiyattam, Villupat, there's a lot of theatricality involved in it. There's a lot of performativity involved in it, right? How much do we know? In fact, in one Tamil literature, Indra Parthasarathi says that Silappatikaram is an unusual, unconventional literary work. It is both a play and an epic. The story of Kolan Kannagi is more than epic because of its author's skill and clarity in documenting music and dance theory. It is a theatre manual comparable to Paradas Natya Sastra. Right? How many people knows about it? Well, obviously the writer who wrote it didn't know about it. I think a lot of us also, we fail to realize that. What do we mean by Tamil theatre and theatre in Tamil? Okay. With that at the back of our mind, I'll just move on to what I'm looking at in terms of changing trends that I see. I'm just sharing it with you. I'm not making how should I say, an academic paper. I'm not presenting an academic paper here. It's more of an observation, right? Now, changes in space. Bringing theatre to the community, bringing theatre out of the theatre, use of technology to define space, site-specific performances. Now, I'm putting this here because I want to tell people who don't know that Tamil theatre in Singapore, or theatre in Tamil in Singapore, is rich, it's vast, it's a buffet. Okay? What is sad is when certain funding agencies, they have people who come in every 2 years and they don't know anything about Tamil theatre or theatre in Tamil. They don't do their research, right? And then they decide on the funding. I don't know how this is possible at all, right? When I hear from people like some person telling me that, oh, when we went for a meeting with a particular funding agency, they said, oh, Tamil theatre, I don't know what is happening in Tamil theatre, you know? Yeah. முதல்ல தமிழ் தியேட்டர் தியேட்டர் தமிழே தெரியல அப்புறம் தமிழ் தியேட்டர் என்ன I mean there must be an effort, right? There must be an effort. We have put in so much of effort. We have done so many things, right? Now, I just want to use Adipati International Theatre to just highlight certain things about community theatre. This group have actually brought theatre to the masses, right? They've used students, they've engaged students in a very committed way to do good theatre. You see, at the end of the day, I always remember this quote. When you do film, it's for fame. When you do TV, it's for money. I think it's the other way. When you do TV, it's for fame. When you do film, you get money. And when you do theatre, it's because you want to be a good person. Right? So I think Rati was saying that, where's the audience? My friend, that article was the 90s, right? Is it? Yeah. The audience are there. They are coming. You should go and check out Adipati International, what they're doing in terms of getting people to come and watch theatre in community centers. $6 ticket, people are coming. Students, right? It's a form of theatre. It's art, right? Next, bringing theatre to the community. Another example where Avant Theatre actually brought kind of a celebrating theatre in an outreach program in 2012. They did it in a shopping center. Bringing theatre out of theatre. This has been happening also for quite some time. Ravindran Rama Group, we did a play in Pekyo Community Center, basketball court. There was a news clip about it, right? And a lot of groups have been doing theatre in the open, right? I'm just giving an example of Sidway doing some theatre for the Heritage Board. So, those who don't know, you can know this. Rome's and Jews, use of technology to define space. We have, what Selva did was, he brought theatre out where you can actually look through video screenings, streaming while theatre is happening within the space. So it's kind of I would say, bringing people out of theatre, use of technology in a kind of interesting way. Now this is another one that's very interesting. Site-specific performances are also on the rise. A lot of people are doing Tamil theatre practitioners. Although this was in English, right? This was done by Sasireka, a female theatre practitioner. If people didn't know, she exists. She runs to Tango Dazzle. They've done wonderful, interesting plays. And she told me this was a profitable play. She said, we made money, right? She said, we tied up with Haupawila. We did a walkthrough, scaring the people out of their wits. But they made money, right? Now, why am I highlighting this? Again, various different groups doing various things, experimenting in space. And this is not happening like only now. It has been gradually happening throughout the years in Tamil theatre or theatre in Tamil, right? Now, content. Throughout you can see some changes in content. Oh, sorry, I need to do some future gazing, right? So I think this experimentation in space is continue. It will continue, okay? Especially when the fact that you are having so much of budget constraint, where real estate takes about 40%, 50% of your budget, you have to find interesting space, right? To do interesting play. For example, ITI here, I'm very sure we're going to get this place for a very low price and we can do good theatre here too. Okay, so space. Now we go into changes in content. Now I just break it up into local narrative versus the new local narrative, HG works, bilingual strategy, theatre training. Okay. Now, you would have seen Salva's, people who see theatre, you would have seen Salva's Moksha trilogy, which is very much based on the epic, right? And then we have Ravinan Drama Group's Aduthu Vittanasami, which is based on P. Krishnan's radio play, very much a local flag. And then we have Palpu Brown. Were you involved in this play, Kalai? Okay. Okay. So this one had a bit of a universal theme where you can tie up both, whether it's an Indian narrative or a local narrative, right? So again, buffet. This is just a tip of the iceberg. A lot of other plays that have taken place. Edgy works. MRT can be edgy, and those who saw Reservists, you know it is edgy, right? நாடகத்துல கொச்சை இருக்கலாம், கொச்சையே நாடகமா இருக்குன்னா அந்த நாடகத்தை பார்த்துருக்கலாம், but that's side jokes. I don't want you to listen in English. Now, Reservists is a play where I thought they brought in the audience. It was full house, So for people who think that, hey, Reservists was full of vulgarity, sexual innuendos, well, sex sells. That's a kind of a play that people are doing. That's another form of art. We have that too, right? Apart from challenging plays like MRT. MRT also touched on the topic about local Singaporeans and foreign Singaporeans. Local, they're all local now, as in new Singaporeans and the older Singaporeans, right? The tension there. Interesting dynamics. But again, I don't know how much funding that these productions got, right? Then we have the bilingual strategy, which I think Grace pointed out. So the content, this is not again something new. Punch Productions did Money, a play called Money, which was a homage to the dancer, choreographer Mani Maran. And that was done both in English and Tamil. So again, the bilingual strategy works. People are coming in droves. People who don't understand the language also do attend. Of course, because of the subtitles also. Now, this is another interesting thing that I think Grace touched on the point that how do we make other races appreciate our language? Yeah. So and this has been done. Patti Nimadam. Right? I hope some archival work is happening so that funding agencies know that so much of work has been done, right? So that they don't ask questions as in, should we support this group? What is this group done? Well, we have to do our homework. Okay, then the bilingual strategy, of course, we have the adaptations, right? So I have to show off. We did Macbeth, then we did Tondan, and then Othello was done. I think what is interesting, this one I want to really share with you all. When I did Tondan, British Council representative watched the play and came up to me and asked whether I could stage this in UK as part of the Shakespeare Centenary kind of festival. But Straight Times wasn't there. No one was there, right? And we had, surprisingly, non-Tamil speaking audience who came for the play, right? Of course, you wouldn't get a British consul guy from Britain, who's a British guy coming and asking me that. And again, do we generate enough information, or are funding agencies or even the press interested in what is being done? There used to be a bilingual page in State Times where they highlighted what was being done in the Tamil community, right? It has disappeared. Why? We're back to silos, right? AGT, they have been doing school plays really to reach out to schools and put up some of Indian mythological characters, or really trying to talk about the, which is now becoming famous, the brown face, right? Okay. The other interesting thing about AKT is they have this unique internationally accredited course to provide professional training in traditional art forms. How many of you have heard of this? Ever heard of this? Good. That side? I definitely am. I'm sure none of them. Okay. We know who's sitting on the other side. But anyway, this is happening, right? How many people know about it? And why so much of importance is given to this? Again, are the funding agencies looking at it? Our press looking at it? Is it because we are Indians and we are no more Singaporeans? I don't know. Changes in craft. Now, next slide. This is a comment from State Times. There was certainly no lack of community spirit in the production. This is a Tamil theatre production. Many people in the audience seem to be related to the actors, cheering when a familiar face steps on stage. Likewise, the actors clearly enjoy themselves on stage, playing to the audience. This is a production with a lot of heart, just not a lot of art. First question, who the hell is the person over there thinking they know what is art? The problem that we have in Singapore is we have only commentators. We don't have critics who can intelligently decode a production. Right? They write these things. It comes out in the national paper. And then everyone thinks, oh, Tamil theatre, hard only la. People, you know, only friends, they know, relative, they come, clap, clap, clap. When you have stupid people writing stupid things, it is going to take away our stories, our narratives, right? These people should stop writing, right? Anyway, let's talk about Kuttupatrai. Now, in the late 1960s, he abandoned prose to write. I don't know why I'm reading out as if you can't read, but anyway. Now, I had a chance to visit Kuttupatrai. Now, what they were trying to do was, they were trying to create a new idiom, a new language, right? A theatre language. And how are you going to do that? You're going to get full-time artists, you're going to invest in them, all the folk theatre traditions, and then hope that the guy will come on stage and he will start to speak a new language with his body movement, right? That was the hope. I don't know whether they've achieved it, right? But it's still going on. And why I'm putting him there is, in a way, he was the so-called father of modern Tamil theatre in India, right? Now, absurdist theatre or absurd theatre of cruelty, whatever. Now, it takes time for people to understand, to appreciate, right? But again, even this kind of plays were attempted here and were done in Singapore, right? Ravi did Kamam.com, Savakadu, Uriadi, Engada Talavan. He did that, right? And then I tried some stuff using Franz Kafka as a base. I did some plays. Again, buffet. And of course we have the main man, right? This is Ilangovan. He's not forgotten. If you were to type his name in Google, you will still find information about him. National Library Board actually has curated details, a biography about him. Now, this man was way ahead of his timeline, I would say. But, again, we can still do it, we have done it before, right? It's a question of challenging us, ourselves, to do it again. I think we can. And anyway, again, as I said, it's a buffet, right? This is another type of play that we have been doing. Now, guess who said this? What we aim to do in general is to create a quality of performance that transcends language. When you go to see a good opera, even without translations, you can follow what they are saying. If the craft is good, that arrests you, and that is the level we are always aiming for. Anyone? You get a free mouse if you... Mr. Sasidharan himself. He was the one who said it, because he's running ITI, and that's what ITI is trying to do, right? So, do we have hope? Yes, maybe we have. We have 2 Tamil-speaking artists who have gone through this training, okay? She looks younger now, actually. Grace and Ramasamy S. I think people who follow Ramasamy S in his Facebook, you know some of the works that he's doing, right? Interesting stuff. It's being done, okay? The graduates are out and they are doing things, right? And I hope funding agencies will support their work, will understand where they're coming from, and you need to help them. Okay, now comes issues, challenges, opportunities. This is something I think I wrote in the middle of the night yesterday. The cost. I think cost is something that we always talk about, right? Rising costs. How are you going to actually try to overcome this cost? Well, that's where funding agencies have to make an informed decision. It's not about theatre for the minority. Cut the crap. Stop calling us minorities. We are part of the social fabric. We are Singaporeans, right? Stop funding according to minority theatre. You are funding theatre, full stop. When you do that, you will see more and more people coming up with interesting work, good work, okay? And they're already doing it. It's not as if they're not doing it, right? The only problem is that we don't have people to talk about it. Straight Times or the main media doesn't even cover about it. They don't even care, right? I mean, that's what I feel. So, I hope the conversation has to take place. And as Grace said that, yeah, we have to really make noise, let them listen to us, be bilingual. It's a sad state of affairs, isn't it? That we have to make noise for them to listen, when in fact, Ministry of Culture, which was the precursor to the current ministry, used to award theatre prizes across the board. And who were the winners? Somasundaram, Uncle, Varadan, across the board, and we were winning awards. We were compared with the other theatre productions. I'm not saying that just within your cohort. What has happened? Have we been pushed into silos unnaturally? Or people don't care anymore? Or people are not using their head anymore? I don't know, right? Come on, people. You cannot be lazy. This is the internet world. Information is out there. To come and say you don't know, it's heart attack. Anyway, the artists. What is the kind of artists we are looking at today? Of course, I always like this Taha Banjul, this particular writer who said that there are two kind of artists, an activist and a businessman. We have them both amongst us. I'm telling you that. We have people who are doing theatre for the sake of doing theatre. They don't care. If they're going to lose money, they will do it. And there are also people who are intelligently doing work. I heard from one theatre practitioner who says that, I don't do that kind of theatre because this particular funding agency only gives money for this kind of theatre. And I'm making money. Right? That's interesting, right? So, even theatre is being manipulated, I don't know, not by the funding agency, but by the artists themselves. But is that the way to go? I don't know. Right? I'm thinking aloud. I don't know. But anyway, people are playing the game. They are playing the game. State. Movies will make you famous, television will make you rich, but theatre will make you good. Okay. Now, why I put it there is, that is why funding agencies must remember theatre is something they must support wholeheartedly with lots of funding. It's not just about getting artists to act on stage and getting the claps. There's so much of catharsis that is taking place that the national narratives are there for all to see, to appreciate. And I think funding agencies must come out strongly in support. Now, the funny thing is, a new guy who's trying to do something, first thing they ask is, this guy got no track record. Of course, you won't have track record. You are not giving me a chance to produce anything, isn't it? Take a chance. Leap of faith. Right? I think funding agencies should do that. Take a leap of faith. I mean, why not? How much are you going to lose? Maybe that 6,000, 7,000? That's it, only one. But take a leap of faith. Because I heard of artists who have tried to do good work, have just stopped doing work because they don't have enough funds. Funding is not there. Now, there was a talk about it even among the English theatre that at the end of the day, there is a need for arts and therefore there should be funding. It is not just a business thing. I think I don't need to say that the way Sasidharan pointed out very clearly. I think we should understand along those lines how arts is important for our existence, our social narrative, our narratives, our shared dreams, our shared narratives. How are you going to build a country if you don't have artists to actually question about our own identity? Think about it. What you're going to have is just Aladdin. And everybody watches Aladdin. It's a whole new world. Yeah, that's it. And we will be in the darkness forever. Now, the audience, well informed versus the ignorant. Well, before going that, maybe I can just touch on the issues, challenges, the next. Yeah, ecosystem. I'll just touch on the ecosystem and finish. I think I've overrun already, right? Okay. The ecosystem is very important. We are talking about so many players here. We are talking about the critique culture, the media. There used to be a lot of coverage given by the media for theatre. Now they are saying, oh, we will give you a good package. You advertise with us. I don't know, where did that come from? Right? When did theatre become a source of income for media? When in fact theatre practitioners themselves are trying very hard to do good work with whatever little money they are getting. I don't know. Media has to come in strongly. Media must understand the social responsibility that they have. And they must understand the background, why arts is important, why theatre is important. Then we have the critique culture, which I've already touched on. Audience. We need to also educate the audience. And I'll be very frank. How many of you all watched Ponniyin Selvan? Yeah. Huge production, right? They said, and it was like one of a kind. And this, one of the producers, they gave me free tickets, and I was like, wow, free tickets, wow. So much of publicity, okay, this is going to be groundbreaking, man. Ponniyin Selvan. When I sat down, oh my God, I saw this in Singapore in the 80s. The same kind of theatrical presentation. We have done it in the 80s, right? But this was touted to be a groundbreaking theatre event, right? Who is kidnapping this narrative? I don't know. Who is feeding this narrative to the media? I don't know. I think these are very serious questions we have to think about, Our work that we have done so far can be wiped away with one swish of the pen, where they would say, oh, this is the first time this is being done. When in fact, we have been doing this for years. Right? I don't know, maybe it's about time we wrote an encyclopedia. I mean, we have some encyclopedias already highlighting about Tamil theatre. Maybe we should write article about Tamil theatre for the past 50 years. Oh, we also have written that, right? So, where is the misinformation coming from? Who is feeding the wrong information? Who is giving this complete bogus story that we are a minority theatre, which is small, we are just doing little theatre here and there, We are giants in this industry. Let me tell you that. I'm not kidding. Look at the number of plays that has been done with so little funding. Right? So please, don't ever come and tell me you don't know what's happening in the Tamil theatre scene or whether we are doing enough. We have been doing a lot. We can continue doing a lot. I think a lot of people are still doing a lot of stuff. Please find out from each other. Maybe is it because we are not talking to each other? Is it part of the ecosystem where we are not celebrating each other? Maybe, like what Mr Sasidharan said. Do we need a united voice? Maybe we need, right? It's about time where we start to talk to each other and we say, hey, it's not us against you, Yeah. Let's think about these things. And this is the quote that I've already talked about before. I'm sorry, நான் தமிழிலும் பேச ஆசைப்படுகிறேன். ஒரு சில வார்த்தைகள் தமிழில் பேச விரும்புகிறேன். தமிழ் நாடகம், தமிழில் நாடகம். பல சாதனைகளை நாம் செய்து கொண்டிருக்கிறோம். அதை யாரும் மறக்க வேண்டாம், மறைத்திட வேண்டாம். அதுதான் ரொம்ப முக்கியமான விஷயம். ஏன்னா வரதன், எஸ்.எஸ். சர்மானா பொக்கிஷங்கள். அதற்கப்புறம் அந்த கலைஞர்களும் வந்து நிறைய விஷயங்கள் பண்ணியிருக்காங்க, நிறைய விஷயங்கள் செஞ்சுக்கிட்டு இருக்கோம். அதை வந்து வேற வழி இல்லை. இப்போ வந்து கிரேஸ் சொன்ன மாதிரி நம்ம தான் தண்டோரா போடணும் போல இருக்கு, நம்ம தான் சொல்லணும் போல இருக்கு. It's a sad state of affairs because again I don't know who is controlling the narrative. The other thing that I wanted to also maybe share with you all is don't forget to tell our narratives, Singaporean narratives. This is something that I'm asking all theatre groups, because we have a rich history here. You know, there was some talk that, oh, our tradition comes from India, the flow. I'm telling you, I didn't know about India theatre traditions when I started theatre. My theatre doyen was Ko Paukun, who's a Singaporean. He talked to me through his plays, which made me get interested in what was happening here, right? And there was a disconnect when Ravindranath Ramakrishna we started. Of course, there was a lot of cinematic element, melodramatic element. I'm not going to run away from that. But we also did plays that were groundbreaking at that time. In fact, I tried to publish. I did a play called Puyalgal. It's about gangsterism in Singapore. And I wrote the play, and I gave someone to read it so that I want to print it. And there was this one Tamil lecturer who said, no. Tamil play must be in Tamil. You cannot have Malay words. What is this? And I said, but this is Singapore, man. This is how we speak. This is our language. You know, there are a lot of language, I would say, aficionados or experts who will come and say that, oh, Sariyana Tamilil pesa vendum, Pungu Tamilil pesa vendum. எங்களுக்கு பொங்கு தமிழும் தெரியும், கொங்கு தமிழும் தெரியும், காவிய தமிழும் தெரியும், சிம்பாங்குட மக்க தமிழும் நமக்கு தெரியும். ஆமாவா இல்லையா? So don't take away my history, don't take away my shared history, my narratives, right? I need to tell about my stories, my doyens, my I would say heroes, right? So I want to talk about Arun Magannan. I want his story to come on stage. I want to hear about Mr R Somasundaram's story. I want to hear Mr Jayaram's story. Where is our stories? Our stories have to come back, have to, you know, fill up our stage. I think we need to tell our stories. If we are not going to tell our stories, nobody is going to tell our story. Then after that, we will be rethinking Tamil theatre. Thank you.
Okay, so we'll go straight to the Q&A. Thanks for running. I would like to call upon all the panelists to come forward, to take their seats over here. We are going to flash the questions that have already been posted. Okay, we'll open to the floor first. So I would like to call upon Kalai, I would like to call upon Reddy, I would like to call upon Vadi PVSS and Mr R Somasundaram to join us.
I love these seats, you know. Can I just stand?
Okay, so we are going to open up to the floor. Any questions, any comments, any feedback? Yes, we have.
Before I ask my question, I wanted to make a comment. Last Saturday, there was a Singapore Literature Conference that was held at the National Library. So I was really saddened. I'm not sure if Dr. Vadivazhagan is here. Oh, he's here. Sorry. So that day, Dr. Vadivazhagan, he was speaking at the conference, and அவரே வந்து கேட்டாரு, என்ன வந்து தமிழவங்க என்ன ஒரு 5 பேர் தான் இருப்போமா அப்படின்னு கேட்டாரு. அந்த அந்த ஒரு ஏக்கம் வந்து எனக்கும் இருந்தது. As an audience, I also felt that. So இங்கே உட்காந்துருக்க எல்லாருக்குமே அது ஒரு கேள்வி தான். நீங்கள் அன்றைக்கி என்ன பண்ணிட்டு இருந்தீங்க, அன்றைக்கி வந்துருக்கலாமே அப்படின்னு. நீங்கள் ஐ திங்க் தி சிம்பிள் திங், இப்போ வடி சொன்ன மாதிரியே வந்து கொஞ்சம் ரிசர்ச் பண்ணணும் அந்த மாதிரி. ஸோ யூ கேன் கோ ஆன் டு PTEX on the website, just type Tamil and you will always know about what events are coming up, and then just sign up for them, because in the Singapore Literature Conference, even if they are mostly speaking in English, and the fluency வந்து அது ஒரு பெரிய விஷயமே கிடையாது. ஏன்னா மலாய்க்காரர்களும் வராங்க, அவங்களுக்கு அதில் சில பேருக்கு மேபி the fluency is not there, but they are still coming there and representing themselves. So அது வந்து yeah, I think we should all research and try to participate in these events, if not as panelists or speakers, but also as audiences. Okay, my question is...
Sorry, what would why are you recommending it? What would be the takeaway?
As in, what would be the takeaway if you go for the conference?
Yeah, so that I'm trying to understand.
Okay, இப்போ வந்து டாக்டர் இளவழகன் வரும்போது அவர் வந்து he was actually talking about Tamil theatre also, and not just literature, but சிங்கப்பூர்ல வந்து என்னெல்லாம் செஞ்சிருக்காங்க அப்படிங்கறத எடுத்து சொல்லும்போது he didn't just show the English translations of whatever poems came out in the plays, but he also had the Tamil words there. But if you think about how many people were reading that in the audiences, it's maybe just two of us who could have understood that, because he actually read it out in Tamil. And some of the questions that were asked about collaborations between Tamil literature and Chinese literature, Malay literature, when those questions are asked, I only saw the Chinese and Malay people, answering more, and I felt that we need to, because all of these panels and forums call for audience engagement as well. So we need to be representing ourselves there.
I wasn't expecting this question, and I wasn't expecting to be included in today I came to listen and I listened. So one point what I'm guessing she was trying to make is that one of the things that I was actually presenting there in the Singapore Literature Festival was poetry that was being used in, now I'm very, I had to be very careful in using the word Singapore Tamil Theatre, or like Mr Vadi said, Tamil Theatre in Tamil. I think I'll meet you personally and actually get educated. No, I think that's a very important point of thought. So what I was trying to do there was, I was actually trying to talk about poetry as a tool to promote the language. Can poetry be used as a tool to promote the interest in language? And the example that I used was Singapore Tamil Theatre, because I was involved in this. And one of the poems that I actually mentioned was the poem that you wrote about violence in Tonda. So when we were talking about how violent, so what I was trying to establish that. So the point that I was trying to make was, though some of the plays were literary, because this is a comment, since the topic has come, I'll actually kind of hijack this topic. So what I was actually trying to say there was, though there are a lot of literary plays, it does not necessarily mean that it is taking away important or pertinent matters, right? So through these literary plays, which are actually either mythological or maybe historical, the kind of topics that we were trying to talk were still very pertinent and relevant. One of the examples, like I said, was violence, right? So violence is actually time irrelevant. Similarly, the topics that I was talking about was love that was used in Taj Mahal, and Mr. Pugarindi's poems. So I was actually quoting a couple of his poems, and I was quoting Mr. Anandakannan. So the points that we were trying to make was, they were, and I was trying to read out the poems in Tamil, and I was giving them the English translation as well. And one lady, she was a Caucasian person, she came in and she said, "Oh, your language looks very nice." She saw the words. I mean, I should thank Murasan, Linam and Aragi fonts for that. But then she said the language looks very nice. And when you speak the language, when you read it out in Tamil, it sounds very flowy, it's very nice. But what was so sad was that there were only like 4 people, okay, from the Indian, and Mr. Arun Mahanan was there. And Kanakalata was there, she was an organizer. And how we couldn't get more audience. Maybe it is promotion, or maybe it is marketing, or maybe it's publicity, or maybe there were like other events on the same day. So one of the points that was brought about here was that in the audience of around 80 to 100, there were 4 Indian representatives in the audience. So that was relatively sad. And another thing to add on to that was they were talking about, of course, it was very nice to see very good works being discussed of Alvin Saad, of course, Professor Edwin Tambu, and the works of Kelvin Pang, etc. In fact, I was asking one of them, why didn't you look into people like Vadi's works? Why didn't you look into people like Selva's works? So I was personally asking them, the reason being, if you can actually take certain works of importance and then look into that. This, of course, there is a lot of works of very significant importance and pertinence in the Tamil field as well. So one of the these are points that you raised as well. Grace raised these points, Reti raised these points, Mr. Vadi raised these points. So these are the same points that was raised there. We could have done with better representation maybe. That is, I think, something that she wants to ask. And now I'll give it back to her. Thanks.
Actually, can I add something to that? Because I recently did this work with Kok Heng Luan for Drama Box called Both Sides Now. Because when he first started doing this project in 8 years ago, I think. Yeah, that was the first time they staged, because they've been doing it on a yearly basis, this Both Sides Now. It's actually a play, interactive play with the audience. It's actually an installation piece, actually. This is it's quite big. They go to the community, they talk about death, about how to deal with death, how do you, what do you take away from death and stuff like that. It's called Both Sides Now. So, prior to this project, I did put this word out to him. I've seen the multilingual plays, why is Tamil not included in it? And because of that, right, the very first one already, he included Tamil in it. He got me to translate the entire exhibition while I was studying at ITI. That was in 2014 actually, during final year, 2014. So I translated the entire festival. So it was happening at what's the hospital called? Kutik Puat Hospital, yeah. The first time the exhibition happened there. So they also had plays happening in Tamil. I did the puppetry show called The Wind Came Home. But the sad thing is, I sent messages to everybody. I inform our Tamil media and everybody. Because it is a very important play that about death. You need to connect to the audience and stuff. The play is going on in Tamil. I'm doing Tamil narrative of everything. Audience member, 2. First year. Second year, 3. Third time, 4. That was all we had. The number of Indian audiences.
Indians can't deal with that.
Actually, to be honest, because the very first time the exhibition came, I wanted to go and see how the translation is. So I asked my mom to come with me. Within 5 minutes of being in the space, my mom wanted to leave the venue. Because it's true. She couldn't deal with the topic of death. But the recent staging that we just did this year, my mom came to me and said, I want to go for this one. And I brought her to the play. And together with her, I saw 2 other older ladies who were actually watching the play. And the Andakaran came and Salim came. So they were all watching this play, and then they said, this should reach to more Indians, but where are the Indians? But the funny thing at the play was there was an Indian funeral just happening behind.
Maybe they were there.
Maybe. But what she says is correct. It's when Indians do works related to the Tamil and stuff in non-Indian spaces, where it's organized by non-Indian bodies, come and support. We are there for each other. We have to support each other.
Yeah, I think that's a very interesting point. I think
AGAM is looking at coming up with a database of artists, local artists, so that it will be a database
that can be used by other races also, so that they will know whether this artist has done what work, and we can directly connect them with. This is something that AGAM is dabbling with. They will do that. Perhaps we can have a calendar of events highlighted there, where among the artists we start to talk and really support each other. I think that's something that, the tools are there. It's free now. Media doesn't hold the monopoly in terms of information. So I suppose it can be done. It should be done. And I think you still haven't finished your question. Yeah.
I know as much as funding is needed for the productions, I also feel that some funding is needed for the audiences to go and go for the productions. So, I'm actually working on a startup that's trying to promote appreciation of Tamil. So this is a question mainly for Vadi and also everyone else, even the audience. I just wanted to find out, what would you think if, you know the concept of going to a hawker center and buying a plate of food for someone else if you have extra money? So I just wanted to ask, what would you think of the background of this that I'm thinking about is how mainly the elite is the group that is able to afford the tickets for theatre productions. So I was thinking that if the elite could go for these productions and buy another ticket for the needy, and you know, if that money could be channeled into productions like for audiences to go and attend. And yeah, so what would you think of that kind of an idea? And also, I wanted to hear more about Adhipathi International. You know, the 6 வெள்ளி ticketனு சொன்னீங்க. So I was very interested. Yeah.
I think 6 வெள்ளி ticket, I think the best person to answer is Mr. Pugalandi himself. I think the costing would have been definitely covered by the place itself. Maybe you can give your...
Okay, I think what we did was that we found out that we pushed some boundaries and found that CCs can hold Tamil dramas. So we experimented with Shan Frontier. So they actually were the funds. And we do that, they will pay for the ticket money. They do all the ticket. We just go there and do the drama. And then they will pay us a full money for the play itself. So we don't get involved in the ticketing or anything like that. The problem came was that now we open the channel, but nobody's going to the CCs to do the drama. So actually there's 98 CCs, Tamil groups interested can go in, there's funding by the CCs, you can get it, do a decent production, make some money, and come out and they'll do all the ticketing and all the star paper, everything. It's just that we opened the channel, but nobody's going in. So there's another lost avenue for revenue channels for young drama groups coming up. Reason we couldn't go in because we had a lot of things packed for this. Maybe 2020 we were going again.
I like the idea about subsidizing for the needy. You can put my name in the list, actually. I think theatre groups should also look at AEP funding, where NAC actually pays a bit of money for schools to go and attend such plays. The sad thing is there is effort that is required from some Tamil school teachers. I mean, Tamil teachers in schools. I think 50% they're putting their effort. I think the other 50%, if they can also kind of up the game, I think, if I'm not wrong, you can correct me, this can actually work out in terms of subsidizing tickets. But having said that, if there are some kind soul out there who's willing to buy tickets, I think there are some people who have bought tickets and passed it to Sinda. I know some people have done that and allowed Sinda people to come and people who are supported by Sinda to come and watch. You have any comment?
Yeah, I got one comment about that because last time I used to do admin work for a dance company for Chok. So one of the things we did is a show for foreign workers. So basically, one of the things we did is we actually called the elite people and we got sponsored. The entire Esplanade place, one whole show was sponsored, so foreign workers can come and watch it for free. Yeah, so it's a thing, it's a matter of effort, how much you want to do it and what's exactly the needy perspective. And also, I mean, this is my opinion, but if you buy your tickets in advance, you get 20 to 25% discount. If you have connections and friends who are people working in the thing, there's crew discounts, there's cast discounts. You can use you can tap on all of this to get the 10-15% discount for tickets. And one final point, if you all can afford to pay $15 to $20 for one Tamil movie that you all watch, same price you all channel to theatre, I believe you all can.
Sorry, I just like to add on to that statement. Hi. Okay, so I remember that in 2012, NAC actually had a system whereby you can bring in a theatre level and they will actually do 1+1. That means you pay for your ticket, NAC will cover for that particular ticket. 2012 in the plan NAC but it didn't pick up so well. So யாருமே அதை யூஸ் பண்ணாதனால அது அப்படியே அமைங்கி போச்சு. So there's actually a lot of systems in the NAC that we need to educate ourselves and utilize. And Vadi sir சொன்ன மாதிரி, yes, there's sport board fundings and the other 50% EDISA வேற யூஸ் பண்ணலாம் அப்படின்ற சிஸ்டமும் ரொம்ப நாளாவே இருந்திருக்கு. நம்ம பல ப்ரொடக்ஷன் யூஸ் பண்ணியிருக்கோம். But the only problem here is not all contents can fit for the children. So எல்லாத்துக்குமே அது வராது. That's just my 2 cents.
There's also one thing, Keppel, if I'm not mistaken, it's Keppel Foundation. Yeah, if you have needy people, right, that you really want to sponsor some people, you can actually approach them. If your production works, they will actually give you a bulk money. They'll cover the ticket cost and you can actually invite people to come and watch the show.
Can I add into AAP? Can I add into AAP? The teachers have to be registered under MOE and as instructors to teach, to take part in AAP program. That's a must now, because as we are doing AAP program for more than 25 years, Baskets and Nartelia. So I know what's happening now. They are asking all the instructors to be registered under MOE. So there must be relevant qualifications to teach theatre in school. So we, in future, I think this is what I wanted to, make a point here. I don't want to talk about past and then what's happening now, the problems. Problems are everywhere, issues are there. It's very difficult to solve in a day, in a small meeting like this. So what I think is that art forms, Indian arts, including Bharatanatyam, and we practice Kathakali and then we practice Thedukuttu, all these art forms with theatre have to be as one. So for my, one of my production for Kalautsavam this year, I'm just announcing now, I call it Marabu, and I have asked Selva, AGAM Theatre, to be part of my production. So it's only one way that I can promote theatre. So I'm seeing this scene for many, many years as an pioneer in this field, practicing dance and then seeing dramas. In fact, in the early 70s, Mr. Bhaskar started Nadagavaathi. I do not know if anybody remember that. Different Indian language dramas were performed in Drama Center. And it ran for nearly more 10 years. The problem with Indians is that when I'm watching Tamil drama, the next program is Telugu drama, I will walk out. And the Telugu does the same thing. If there is an Hindustani drama, none of the Tamilians or Telugu people, Kannada people will be there to watch. This was much earlier than everybody is talking about. I think this has been going on for many, many, many years among us. We have no unity among art form itself. Music is separate, Carnatic music is separate, theatre is Tamil, theatre is separate, Bharatanatyam is separate, and Kathakali is somewhere else, and then Thedukuttu is somewhere else. So when are we going to come together? That's my question, is that can we come together to do something to be a Singaporean theatre person or an artist to survive here and then have an identity? I'm a Singapore artist. I practice Tamil drama, I practice dance, I practice music. This all belongs to Singapore. So I think that has to be the future for what my desire is. So I don't want to talk about all the problems, and there are issues, a lot of issues, funding. I know what it is. NEC funding is all about. And we have two organizations, a teaching organization and a company, dance company, which have been surviving with NEC funding. So I'm grateful to that. But amount of work, I'm an artist, I cannot do accounts. I can only choreograph dance or think about a creative work. So I need someone to help me in the office to do my, and who is helping me in the office? My daughter-in-law, who retired from a government agency as an accountant, and then she's helping me. I can't help it. I need someone. So this is what's happening in Singapore. So these are the issues. You can't simply ask for funding, and that funding, it's public money. And you need to be answer to that. Your art has to answer that. So these are the issues in Singapore as an artist who are, to want to be a full-time, really appreciate you talking about to become a full-time artist. It's not easy. It's not at all easy. You do not know how much agony and then how much of, you just wanted to leave this place and run away from here. I have thought about that many times, me and my husband. I'm not joking. I'm telling you that frankly from my heart. I know how Mr. S. Sharma survived all these years, Mr. Pattabhiraman, because we were friends too, and then I know Mr. All of you were here in 70s and 80s. What are we thinking? We just want to be Indian artists to practice theatre, music or dance. What do we think that we are happy about it? So I think we need to think about this unity. Can we come together? Maybe I think Ganesh can help with this AGAM organization. Let's have a body of people from different art forms, not only just theatre, Tamil theatre. Let us have dance and music also part of it. Then we talk about it. Then we can approach the government. Okay, this is the body that we can come together and help you to understand what is Indian artists all about in Singapore. I'm not talking about India dancers and musicians and theatre who come here. I'm not worried about them. So as a Singaporean, what can I say? So I really appreciate what you said. That I also do not like to say that I'm a Singaporean Indian. I don't like that. I have been hearing that for many times. And I always said that I'm not a Singaporean Indian, I'm a Singaporean. So I think we all have to feel that. Then we work on what this art has to be promoted and then to be, how can we communicate to the public, to our generation, next generation? How do we pass this to them? So I think that is also have to be thought about, I suppose. Thank you very much for listening to me.
I think she has taken away my summary for the event. Thank you, ma'am. Okay, any more questions? Yes, we have got a question over there. Can we pass the mic over there?
I actually don't have a question, but more of a request for the organizers. I'm an educator, so I noticed that you use the term theatre practitioner very widely, and I actually can't put my finger on what the actual definition of a theatre practitioner is. We teach drama in schools, and there are lots of educators, women educators out there who actually practice drama in the classroom. I mean, when you say, let's not let theatre die, let's bring it to the next generation, it always begins from the educators. So when you say that there are no women panelists to speak about theatre, or you couldn't reach out, I feel that you could have done more research, before you made that point across. There are some, like Asha, she's been doing theatre with kids for a very long time. And I did feel that she would have made a very good lady panelist who could have contributed a lot to the event. So that's just one comment. One more thing that I wanted to also bring across is, today, we saw and learned a lot from whoever the panelists were and people who are also present here. How do we bring it to the younger generation? Sometimes theatre is lost in translation when it's not brought down to very young children. 20 years ago, I was exposed to theatre through Vadisa. He was my first exposure to theatre. Obviously, he won't remember me, but I was a student, and he was the first person who asked me, Nadikiriya. I will never forget that, sir. I was in Umar Pulvar doing higher mother tongue, and you actually asked me. And Uncle was the first person who taught me how to act on radio. எப்படி வந்து ஆள் பார்க்காம நீ வந்து enunciate பண்ணி emotions கொடுத்து எப்படி நடிக்கிறதுன்னு. So I learned a lot from him. But do people have access to Vadi sir? Do people have access to Ray Somasundaram uncle? When I mean people, I mean our little people. So which organization is doing this? Yes, plays are crucial, they are essential, theatre is important, but they should not be based only on performances. What is happening to education then? How are we training the younger generation to practice theatre? we are only doing speech and drama. மிஞ்சி போனா speech and drama ஒரு 10,000 சென்டென்ஸ் இருக்கு. பட் தியேட்டர் பிராக்டிஸ் பண்றதுக்கு, ஒரு சவுண்ட் போர்ட் ஆப்ரேட் பண்றதுக்கு, லைட்ஸ் செய்யறதுக்கு, ஸ்டேஜ் மேனேஜ்மெண்ட் பண்றதுக்கு குழந்தைங்களுக்கு யாரு சொல்லி கொடுக்கறா? எங்க போறது? There's nothing. So if we can tap on some sort of funding, and AGAM can organize something like that for younger children, educators like me would be delighted to bring the younger generation who are completely lost in translation. அவர் உட்காந்து ஒரு கதை சொன்னா, நான் எப்படி தியேட்டர் இருந்தேன்னு ஒரு கதை சொன்னா, there's so much to learn. இன்னைக்கு அவர் சொன்னாரு, நான் கத்துக்கிட்டேன், நிறைய கத்துக்கிட்டேன். So how about my children? எங்கேருந்து கத்துக்குவாங்க? யார்கிட்டேருந்து கத்துக்குவாங்க? This is very, very important, and I don't think we should ever lose sight that we have to educate the young generation, not just youths. I don't know whether I still fall in the category, but youths, you know, or people who are 10 years younger. அவங்க மட்டும் போதாது. What about the younger ones? நம்ம கத்துக்கிட்டாதான் குழந்தைங்க சொல்லி கொடுக்க முடியும். நமக்கு யார் கத்து கொடுக்கறா? We need to address that issue as well. So just wanted to make that comment. So organizers can take note. I think this is a fantastic initiative. I had a very, very fruitful morning. I would really like to bring this down to children as well. Yeah, that's all.
It has been there for quite some time, how we do these outreach programs. So Ravindran, when we started off, one of the things that we decided that we have to build the ecosystem. We have to reach out to the young. Why? Because we need the audience, you know. That's how you create the audience. That's one aspect. But also, you create artists, right? And at the time, it was for society through theatre. That was the slogan. So it was also to give back to the society, to basically get the youths involved, energize them, get them to do something worthwhile. So that was the modus operandi. I kind of hear you very much that a lot of educators out there who would want to impart this knowledge. I know that now with Karthik and Udaya already finished their degree, they are going to do fantastic work. It's called pressure. That they will be doing a lot of outreach programs also. And I think it should continue. It is there. The other thing that I want to highlight is about this radio thing. My initial training was in radio plays. I used to act in Sirvar Medai, Sirvar Malar. You know, I still hold it, you know, with such, I would say, so much of nostalgic feeling, so much so that whenever they call me for any radio event, I will run. I will just go, just to feel the studio, because that's where my friendship with Ravindran started, G. Ravindran, we at the age of 12, right? And that's how we came together, theatre group, and so much of fun. It's not there anymore. Sirvar Medai is not there anymore. Sirvar Malar is not there anymore. And I think they need to, media has to do something about it. You know, it's not just about, hello, சாப்பிட்டீங்களா? இன்னைக்கு என்ன சாப்பிட்டீங்க? அந்த படத்தை பாத்தீங்களா? சூப்பரா இருக்கு. இதோ படம். By the time you realize what they are talking, next song. Right? There used to be signature programs on radio. Now you have only signatureless RJs. Because you can't really link certain good programs to one RJ, you know. There are no more broadcasters. I think they're just, I don't know, Mr. Arunmagalan can clarify this, whether I'm making it correct here. I think something is missing. Radio is a fantastic platform which is missing, and I hope some people will revisit it, and I hope we can get it back.
Okay, I think we still have time for just one final question. Yes, Michael.
Hi, a very good afternoon to all, and a good day to all. Yeah, I'd like to raise a question regarding for Grace. Yeah, you mentioned something about not having publicity for a production, or people are not turning up. Even when they turn up, it's only a few numbers. I was very impressed with what SIFA did this year because, okay, I got a SIFA program, Singapore International Festival of Arts, and I just looked through the content. I did not even flip, and I just saw this dialogue session. So, and it was that particular morning. So I quickly made my way to the arts house, and I sat there just like this, and the director was talking about the production, what he is going to do. that something was amiss. As he was talking, using the future tense. I'm going to do this with the actors. I want to do that with the actors. Then I flipped through the program, and then I realized the production was for the following year. That means I went this May, the show would be put out next May. I think that is a fantastic education. Right now, I'm definitely going for a show by the 9 Years Theatre. It's in Mandarin. It's based on Chekhov, I think, Three Sisters. And I have the whole year to read up on the novel on my own. And when I will go for the show eventually, which I will, and I will enjoy the early bird tickets, because I know that I'm going, 25%, I'll get many tickets. So my point is, can't we have that for Tamil productions? That means we don't plan it now. We plan it in 4 years' time. And then next year we work on the dialogue session. That's where you start to educate. So I'm a teacher, and I will bring it back to school. And I will promote it among my colleagues who are Tamil, but teach in the English medium. So we have the whole year to spend, and of course this is when we can tap on the media. We don't have to rush to the media and demand from them, அடுத்த வாரம் நம்ம ஷோ போடுறோம், எப்படியாச்சும் இந்த போடுறோம் சார் நள்ளிரவுக்கு போடுவாங்க, பேய் தான் கேட்கும். இந்த மாசம் சொல்லக்கூடாது, இந்த மாசம் வேற, அந்த மாசம் எல்லாம் வந்துட போகுதுங்க. Okay, so my suggestion is that I think it's a fantastic platform, not 1, 2 shows. எனக்கு எங்களுக்கு கொஞ்சம் அடிக்குதுனாக்கா, okay, அம்மா சொன்னாங்க சிங்கப்பூரியன்னு, ஆனா 2 மென்டரிங் ப்ரொடக்ஷன்ஸ். ஒரு வருஷம் நமக்கு டைம் கொடுத்துருக்காங்க. ஒன்னு வந்து ஒரிஜினல் ஒர்க் வித் ஜாப்பனீஸ் கொலாபரேட்டர்ஸ். நான் அந்த ஷோலாம் ப்ரொமோட் பண்ணல. I just hope if Grace you can work with them. I want to take this opportunity to also mention about Grace with her recent success with 3 Fat Virgins Ensemble. I'm very happy. I think we should applaud her because I'm so proud that she has become a prominent director after that production. I'm hoping that one day, I'm lousy at Tamil translation. மூன்று தடி சேர்க்கீங்க கிழிச்சிட்டு இருக்காங்களா, something like that. I don't understand. And I think we have a beautiful actress there, Sangeeta. I'm so sad. You are the person, right? Definitely. I'm so sad that ரொம்ப தடவை இங்கிலீஷ்ல போட்டிருக்காங்க, பெண்கள் நடிச்சா டிக்கெட் எனக்கு சோல்ட் அவுட் ஆயிடும், ஆண்கள் அந்த ப்ரொடக்ஷன்ல நடிச்சாங்கன்னாக்கா எக்கச்சக்கமா இருக்கும், அப்பதான் எனக்கு வாய்ப்பு கிடைக்கும் பார்க்கிறதுக்கு. So I was hoping, that we hope to see a production by you, and if you can have this kind of dialogue session where you introduce the production to the audience, and we have 1 whole year to work on it, and I can assure you it's going to be a sellout.
9 Year Theatres is a company, they got the full-time salary and everything. Most of the time I work as an independent artist. I don't have a salary backing. That is one of the reasons why I can't do 1 year or 2 years ahead of planning, to be very honest, because I'm also looking at my rice bowl for the next day. So yes, that is the future that I want. That is what we are supposed to do. That we are supposed to have a conversation of the future productions that you're going to do, and like we say, get them to read the book so that they can, the value that you get by having the text in advance is much more, to be honest. And I would really love to be in that situation, to be very, very honest. And let's see how and what happens. But thank you so much. I think that's a very valid point to bring up. Thank you.
Okay, Vadi has something to add.
I just have one thing that I wanted to share. I kind of missed out earlier. There was this part about Terukuthu. They were talking about certain elements in Terukuthu. There are a lot of research that's taking place today in Terukuthu. I'll just explain to you 2 very important things. Now, our theatre tradition was influenced by the Parsi theatre, right? So we have this Greek theatre element of, this is the 4th wall where you break down and you look into it, right? They say the screen thing is a very Greek thing. Research has shown Terukuthu actually uses a screen, the red screen, right? It's like, goodness gracious me, everything is Indian. No. But what I'm trying to say is, research is showing new things. Bertolt Brecht talks about the alienation effect, right? What is alienation effect? Go and see Terukuthu. The guy Kattiyankaran will come out and talk to you. He'll breaking off his character and he's going back. Why am I saying this? There's so much of richness in our culture that we fail to notice it, but we put on the lens of the Westerners and then look at our own culture. That's the sad part. So, LaSalle actually invited me as part of three artists, Chinese artists, Malay artists, and I was the Indian artist, right? So I went there, they said, we're going to do Henrik Ibsen's Dollhouse. Okay, the first act is going to be a Chinese family, the second act is going to be an Indian family, the third act is going to be a Malay family, right? So what they were expecting me to do was some Bollywood stuff, right? So what I did was, I did minimalist play. I just brought this red cloth, and they were all wearing black, right? And this red cloth, when this girl comes in, she comes in fully covered, and then suddenly she's revealed, and then she starts talking. And the red cloth, I used it very in different kind of, whether they're going to tie it around their back or putting it around their shoulder. You know, I was just experimenting with it, right? Now, the Norwegian fellas somehow understood what I was trying to do, right? But the local fellas were thinking, Allama, cheapo la. Just use the red, you know, thing, and then they finished off the play. But that was an Indian play la. And then there was only one write-up by a viewer who said that, oh, they like this Indian part, also the Bollywood song. And I was wondering, I never even put a Bollywood song. So again, there are a lot of works that's taking place. We need people to go and see and write about it. Huh, Guru? We need people to write about these things, and we need to spread the information. That's all. Just wanted to tell you.
All right, thank you. Thank you for the questions. I'm afraid we don't have enough time, but I would like this to be a kickstarter for conversations. The conversation should not end here. It should continue. Please talk about it to your friends, your family. Keep the conversations rolling so that we can improve and advance together. Before I end the event, I'd like to call upon Ganesh to say a few words, the founder of AGAM.
I'll make it really quick. Thank you so much for coming on a Saturday. Thank you so much. Like what Karthik said, this is the first event. As a new company, we could have done a play. All of us have been doing theatre, but we didn't want to do a play. We want to talk. We want to hear from you. In the comments of which we will start doing our plays, and this is not going to end. We are going to intend to do this every year. And potentially next year, it may not be. In the first event, we had a lot of diverse topics. So, maybe next year onwards, we will start to focus on topics, children theatre, you know, potential topics. So, the Moon Manera, there will be an intense discussion just about that topic. So, over time, all these transcriptions will be given to NEC, libraries, research, pass it on. At this stage, I want to say one last thing. Digital Archives of Singapore Tamil Theatre and National Library, where last year I did an archive project. I don't know if Shamini is still here, she left, where they had 3,000 over Tamil materials, theatre-related materials, since 1930s. So if you all are really interested about theatre, போய் அதை பாருங்க, அதை பார்த்தீங்கனாலே தெரியும் நம்மளோட richness என்னன்னு. I think we can start continuing that. Yeah.
All right, thank you, Ganesh. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, an art form like theatre is the embodiment of cultural reflection of the society, nation, and the practitioners. So without your support, we cannot exist. So please continue supporting us. Please get more supporters for us so that we can have better place and we can improve in the future. At this point, a big round of applause for all the panelists. Grace Kalaiselvi, Mr R Somasundaram, Rethinavel, and Vadi PVSS. And before we move, the organizers have requested that I do this, attempt a group selfie. Okay?
Not paid enough, you're paid.